Hello, everyone. It's really nice to be here and to share our life hacks because, as we already mentioned, neuro mediation is quite like neurographics because neurographics about art, creativity, just like neuromediation. So we'll share the presentation and we're about to draw our identification as a key internal anchor, because mediator is a profession. And I would like to say a couple of words about myself. I'm a mediator, psychologist, trainer, member of the board of the Ukrainian Academy of Mediation. I'm also a game practitioner, I'm an advisor, and I'm also a member of the Art Therapy Federation in Europe. Today we'll leave the seminar with great support, and this neurographics exercise is a bridge. There are countries suffering from wars and catastrophes and natural disasters, so it's very important for us to have this internal support. And people lose this self-identification because they are displaced, then they lose their homes, they lose their jobs, and this is quite important to feel this internal support. This will be a source of light for you, something that will help you to move on despite everything that's happening around and feel the source of energy that will unlock your potential, that will allow you to overcome these problems that surround you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. This is an event we are looking forward into every year, and we miss the times when we had it offline. It's really important to talk face to face. And today I'm happy to be with you all. My name is Iryna Suchilova. I'm also a mediator, practitioner, a trainer of the Ukrainian Academy of Mediation for adults. I'm also a positive psychotherapy advisor, a member of the Association of Family Mediators of Ukraine. I'm doing events like this for mediators, and we did lots of events with Anna to support mediators through these hard times. I'm a head of the Ukrainian Academy of Mediators, member and coordinator of the Ukrainian Academy of Mediation, and that's part of positive psychology, and just want to subscribe to what Anna said. That's true. This internal support is really important through this turbulence. External support sources are unstable, so it's very important to have internal support. And remember, self-identification is a very important need. Remember the Maslow pyramid. And this support, this internal support, is not only important for mediators, but for every person. And for many jobs that involve person-to-person communication, it's really, really important. And we're going to strengthen our internal support, our internal foundation for mediators. Thank you very much. So let's move on, shall we? Since it's called neurographics, and the forum is dedicated to cosmos, universe, and we were inspired by that, and this is what we've called the presentation. I'm the universe. The universe is huge. And they identified that this spans 93 million light years. This is just a general illustration of what universe is, but we would like to be inspired by Carl Jung. He says, he who sees outside is dreaming, and those who look inside wake up. So our job is to wake up and look inside of us. And Vera will tell you more about neurographics. What we suggest is we start with short introduction. We have many people here, and I want to share your feelings. That's a very important part of the practice. And tell us if you're really in the mood of jumping in our topic, and are you ready for that? I know that lots of people attend our neurographics lessons, and lots of people know what it is. So we will be really happy if you just share your feelings in the chat. That's quite an important part of the practice. It's not just about drawing. Drawing is just a part of it. And we need to focus on our feelings first. We are creating links to our emotions, our feelings, our state, mental state. And we really want to share these feelings. And when you do every step, you really need to look inside of you and see what happens inside. It's quite an important part of the process. So let's start with that. Looking forward into doing this, looking forward into a celebration. You need to, I want to indulge myself. Yes, we're going to talk about that. We're indulging ourselves. It's very important for kids, and it's very important for adults. It's just a part of it. Amazing to start. I'll feel lightness and interest. So I'm inspired with my anticipation of the positive atmosphere, and just want to tell you something about myself. When I started to learn this, I didn't really understand how it works. And then I really felt it works. And sometimes you just feel you're not really into it, but you need to accept who you are. That's essential. This is why it's very important to analyze, to observe, and you really need to understand if that's something you belong. Because I experienced all of that. Thank you for your answers. Let's move on. Anna, can I start with the presentation? Yeah, sure. If you're comfortable with it. Now let's move on then. So we have these nice pictures of universe, cosmos, and galaxies, and we'll dive into a theory. Well, it's not about astronomy, but if you generalize it, universe is all physical world. And lots of different concepts are related to it. We have many beliefs related to the universe, lots of traditions. And I will tell you more about how it happens in Ukrainian culture. Maybe you can share about your experience. What traditions you follow are related to space and universe. That's, of course, a huge topic to talk about. The way it's related to mediation and neurographics. When we chose neuro mediation, we draw lots of parallels with neurographics because it's about transformation. And basically, you're creating a better future for people. It's about ensuring your internal support. And also, we have a great picture describing the link between the universe and your body. You can see that you can really confuse these pictures, brain cells and galaxies. The way your neural links are formed, it really looks like galaxies shaping the universe. So you can draw parallels. And we say everything is interconnected. Things we are talking about, like mediation, neurographics, and universe, there's a lot in common. So where do you get these ideas about these lines? So it is related to the duality in your life. We always think rationally. We find looking for senses. We think rationally. And this is what we focus on. And oftentimes, intuition sometimes is neglected. And this duality is provided to us with the nature itself. And not always these rational decisions work, and when something doesn't work, we need to use something else. This is why neurographics helps us link with our nature, our intuition, our subconscious mind, something that is hidden deep within. It can show you, can open a whole new world for you. It will give you answers to the question, why are we looking for these decisions? This is what this technique is about. And these lines, you can see some new pictures of nature that we observe every day, and we develop our vision of complex things that are hidden.
If you take a closer look, you will see that lines is something they share. It could be wavy, it's real, and it sort of breathes with life. Because all these lines, they basically come from nature. It could be the outline of mountains, could be lightning in the sky, could be the shape of the tree branches. This takes us back to nature, to our intuition, and each of our cells has that component. So if we take this from nature, we create beauty, we get aesthetic satisfaction, and this nurtures our resources and improves our state. So the idea itself comes from contact with beauty. Now, what's interesting is, in order to work with this technique, you don't need to be a painter. In fact, it might even be counterproductive if you are a good painter. You just have to let your passions go, your feelings. If you try to repeat your work, it won't work, because each time it will reflect your current state. There are three components here: uniqueness of each person, change of point of view, and transformation. And here, it's not just about contact with beauty, it's about uniqueness, it's about magic, and the magic of each painting reflects you as a magical person. This is a very interesting idea, and this is very inspiring. So your painting can never be wrong, and as long as you like it, as long as it inspires you, then it is right for you. It's not for other people. It is important that you fill yourself with this beauty. Sometimes we take a look at the same thing from a different point of view. And throughout our lives, we accumulate lots of standards, which makes our thinking and a sort of a similar to a template. Kids are different, but adults find it more difficult. And to change, to break down these stereotypes, find new ways of looking at things and perceiving beauty, we can take steps and basically redraw or repaint the story while looking at it in a different perspective. And the third one, transformation, is you observe yourself in the process. Now, neuro painting consists of two words: neurons and painting. So painting or drawing, all of that is a way of reflecting the picture we imagine. So it's a metaphorical way of depicting your vision, your ideas on paper. And when we draw that, we are watching our emotions, and we change the point of view, and transformation occurs.
Сьогодні ще трошки хотіла сказати про осенсовування. Тобто ми накопичуємо багато цих сенсів, і насправді,
we accumulate quite a few senses, And when we have this contact with beauty, when we draw these things and look at things in a different way, what this does is it creates new senses for us. And we perceive our life, our conduct in a different light. So it's an important mission. Today, we will be building this important support through our emotional state, and you can paint anything you want, really. There are no restrictions or restricted topics. So any story, whether negative or positive, it doesn't matter. You could draw your negative experience, some blocks, aggression. We work with these, we dissolve in this beauty, and this creates new emotions. You can depict internal conflicts, etc., etc. But if you draw on a regular basis, it performs an important supporting function. I can tell you that from my experience. So there are quite a few things that we can achieve and accomplish using this methodology. What else is important to understand? This is not art therapy in its pure form. It's more of a coaching method. It's a tool that you can use to solve psychological challenges using these drawings. But we do not interpret these drawings. Just like in mediation, we don't assess. There's only one criteria that matters, and that is as long as you like it. So you can think about it, analyze, get back to it, and change. But this can be used in different versions, and that's exactly what we'll do today. And in fact, this is also about archetypes. And what's important here is that in order to transform negative feelings into positive ones, we can transform them by working with them, by drawing them. First, we draw the lines. Then we turn all the sharp corners of the drawing into curved ones, and this serves as a smoothing factor. It introduces harmony into the drawing, and by means of working through this, it soothes us.
Тобто у нас буде жодних перетикань.
and things start flowing
Ця енергія вона буде перетикати по всьому нашому малюнку.
throughout your drawing.
Що можна виразити через
Now, what can it be expressed through an image?
перетикати в такі сенси, да, що
The,
там
o- and the image can be turned into senses, new senses,
континувати ваш стан, да,
and they in turn will transform your state into a positive state.
який ми отримуємо в процесі
And
гармонізації, бо
the pleasure we
це є
feel
гармонізацією,
in the process of harmonization
отримуємо
is important
гармонізацію,
because it creates a contact with beauty,
важливу потребу.
and we satisfy one important need.
І це може робити майже будь-хто.
And this is quite simple. Anyone can do that. Now, in honing your self-reflection skills, this is an important tool because we can hear our thoughts better, we can trace them, we can monitor them, and analyze them. And as of today, this is an important and integral part of our life. Now, our hand, the palm of our hand can serve as a conduit with our neurons. Now, harmonization, it's about balancing, creation of feeling of wholeness and unity. And there is a definite link between the palm and the brain. As far as contact with beauty is concerned, we create art as artists, and we are transforming this world into something beautiful. Now, psychological support practice is all about drawing with benefits. We also build new neural links that lead to new effective reactions. And this is a possibility to see the situation from different perspectives. Sometimes those perspectives are rather unexpected, unusual, and we can change the way we perceive the situation. It also helps us to find new points of view, and this removes our internal conflicts and stabilizes our emotional state. This also inspires us, and it cares for our inner child, which is important. And it is important to do on a regular basis. Now we can draw various shapes, and each shape would indicate the vector of development, and the concept is that the sheet of paper that we're working on, it has no limits. It's like a universe, limitless, and we can work from one end of the sheet to the other, and the lines, when they go beyond the paper, They simply connect to the universe and they receive energy from without. Now, when we use colors, we harmonize, and we will have to train a little bit to draw correct lines, and it's not just a wavy line. There's a lot more to it. It is similar to language because it's a line which at each stretch is different from the previous stretches of the same line. We will do some training. You will practice and see how it goes. The idea is to try and merge these cells and try to create new directions. It's as if like similar to trying and to brush your teeth using your left hand as opposed to your right hand. So it's just a different perspective. So we need to harmonize this further. It's just like in mediation. You finish one stage and go on to the next stage. Same here. We go on, harmonize with color, fix a certain shape, and then use anchoring, something that it resembles you.
Ще все підживлюємо лініями поля. Також розповімо, яким чином їх малювати. Це також додасть додаткову енергію до цих місць.
Also, it adds more energy to these spots that you can define as strongest and weakest. So, but the bottom line is this. You can express it, you can share it, of course, and if you want to, we'll be happy about that. Some sort of a reflection. Did you do it, or did you struggle with it? Would be great if you could share it. The only thing I'd note, if you're really interested in the topic, we can advise you to read something really serious, some serious literature, because there are peculiarities you need to focus on, because if you don't complete the drawing, it can produce a different effect. So please use legitimate sources. And people sometimes try to do it, and then it turns out that they're doing something else. Just a few words about this, just really quick. I will tell you about traditions, circles, symbols of the sun. Yeah, well, actually, let's talk about Ukrainian beliefs, and it's really interesting. I really love our culture, and there are lots of discoveries. Actually, there is a lot into it. It's not just about Ukrainian culture. It would be really nice if you share your own traditions in the chat. Traditions about the universe.
традиційній кераміці, на писанках.
Different symbols related to the universe could be seen on objects of art, ceramics. They used to draw stars or rosette, like an 8-pointed star. It's a symbol of the sun and a protection from gods, and they just wore it for protection. And these motifs, they have this message encoded in them, the code, knowledge about the composition of the universe and humans' place within it. And they would embroider these symbols on clothes worn for special occasions. And they would often draw these symbols. They also use spirals and waves. And symbols, these are symbols that represent eternity, cosmos, related to time and water. And there are many legends that say that stars are like portals to the world, and when a person dies, a star is born, and this star is a person's guardian angel. And it says a lot about the Milky Way. You know, a Milky Way is a galaxy. And there's a Ukrainian name for it. Traders would use it to navigate the earth. And recently we had a celebration, Iryna Suchilova, and they had many symbols related to equinox and cosmos. Symbol of sun's victory. And the central element of it is fire and water, the elements of the universe. And there's a story that says you need to jump over the fire to purify yourself, and then you purify yourself with water. And this tradition still comes alive, and it's still popular. So today, we're going to do this. The picture depicted this spiral, and it's also related to the celebration of Iryna Suchilova. And everybody's looking for fence flower, and if you find it, you will find a connection with the universe. It's really interesting. And today we're going to enforce our place in the universe using mediation, using drawing, using our internal transformation to strengthen our internal support. Thank you for that. I try to be as short as possible, but it's really hard to talk about this extensive topic. I'm giving the floor to Anna, and we'll try to practice this. Thank you, Iryna, for this profound presentation of neurographics and what you can find in the Ukrainian creativity tradition about neuromediation. Let's talk about support. It's not very descriptive, like how can you draw support? but we can try to do that. And before we get down to practicing, I would like you to take a sheet of paper, markers or liner markers, 0.1 to 0.7. And we'll just draw lines.
От, наприклад, малюнок, який зараз ви бачите, ось, бачите, він закріплений, да, ось цей блакитний.
A drawing that you can see over here, the blue one, it was drawn in a couple of goes. So first you just make a little dot over here and the lines, the arches and circles. Now you can see the advanced drawing. You can see these harmonized lines. You can see these internal links, these cross sections of lines, which are basically rounded at angles. So every angle is a conflict, something sharp. If it's sharp, you perceive it as a conflict. So we need to round it. You need to transform it through Neuro drawings. You just paint it black and round it and paint it black. If you look at Neuro drawings, they look like neural cells, like brain cells you've seen on the picture that look like galaxies. And this is not yet a completed drawing. The way I do it, I just select certain circles that I'm going to paint, and I select colors that I'm going to use. And just like on the right side, let me take my spotlight. So I just mark it blue, the color I'm going to paint. It's just a part of filling in the spaces. And this is the completed picture you've seen in the announcement to the neurographic session. So these are these color lines, and you just connect it to what you had before. Now you have these internal lines drawn using a green marker. And this one is an anchoring shape. I have an angel here, like this is a head and wings, and it just connected to the universe using these lines to this energy field, and it brings this grace to the world. And this is a heart, green heart, and you can draw this as well if you want to. It represents love. Neurographics is very flexible, and just like mediation is not a panacea. It's not a one-time solution. And what it means is if you draw this and you feel you're annoyed with it, just a small amount of people that feel that, like 1 or 2% of people. If you feel you don't belong here, you don't feel right, you can just stop doing this. So this neural mediation is does not fit all people. We have different associations, you have different experiences, and you have different trigger mechanisms. So please be careful about this and try to pay attention to your feelings. And we're just trying to create a space which you will enjoy. This is why this should be your adjustment. But if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel like doing this, you need to really pay attention to it. Now you can take an empty sheet of paper and let's draw neurographic lines. These neurographic lines are natural.
окремий шматок цієї лінії схожий з іншим. Зараз я покажу, що
And you will draw it in a way that where this every line is similar to the other. What I mean by that is you're going to see that in a moment.
Чому? Тому що кожен
This is not a neurographic line because every
цієї лінії, він такий самий, як і попередній.
fragment is the same
Саме ми, коли малюємо, ми не малюємо,
as before.
щоб були ось такі піки. Бачите?
And you don't produce these peak lines. We don't need that. But if you have this, I will tell you what to do with this and how to get rid of. Then we don't draw these spirals. This is not a neurographic line. And we don't draw these. This is not a neurographic line. Neurographic lines, like you can see it on the screen, it's very random. You just follow the marker.
Що це значить? Наприклад, ви хочете повести його вверх, тоді намагайтеся вести його вниз.
But
Тобто, бачите,
if you want to, if you want to go up, you just don't go up, you go down.
Відрізок схожий на інший, да? Тобто, от ми беремо
So
відрізок
every fragment of the line should not be similar to the previous one.
і так далі. Тобто, вона максимально йде
Анечка, одну
природня.
хвилиночку.
It should be natural. Should look natural.
Попрошу зараз не презентацію зробити основною, а те місце, де Анна зараз.
If you are drawing a picture, please
І здається, що наче слайд.
Я так не зможу
please switch to the different screen. I can't do that technically. You have to stop the presentation. You have to switch to the drawing window. Yes, let's do this.
І це зараз про тренування, тобто це якийсь аркуш додатковий, на якому ви просто можете потренувати.
And you can just do it to train,
Презентації не було зрозуміло трішки.
to train yourself.
А зараз
А так гарно взагалі видно, да, воно?
так,
Can you
видно,
see that
прекрасно
well?
видно.
Yes,
А
you can see it
можемо
well.
перевернути якось?
Can you please tilt it? No, no, we can't.
Так, і ще раз. Тобто ми малюємо
One more time.
максимальну лінію, яка не буде схожа кожна
So
година на
you
іншу.
draw a line
І так само ми
where
можемо
every fragment
намалювати
is
ось
not
такі
similar to the
от два
previous
круги.
one. So you don't draw
Таких розмірів,
straight
тобто
lines.
відрізок також має бути
We don't
мінімум.
want that.
Тобто краще, щоб вона була біонічна. Це називається біонічна лінія.
It's called bionic line.
Да, от, наприклад, як гілки дерева ви бачите.
It's like branches on a tree
Біля моря.
or waves of the sea, or
щоб не було загострень.
mountain
Зараз,
lines.
будь ласка, візьміть аркуш папіру і спробуйте 3, 4, 5 ліній
And
намалювати. Саме, щоб
Just draw a couple of lines to make sure they look like neurographic lines,
Да, ось така.
like this.
Вона непередбачувана.
Should be completely random.
Міліметри як гільки. Яночка, будь ласка, поясніть, що це мається на увазі 2 мм.
2 millimeters. What do you mean by that? Neurographic lines, you just draw it from the beginning of the sheet to the end of it,
Бути чорний колір.
from one end to another. Should be black? Yes, it should be black. We use black. If you don't have black, just use what you have. So black is basic, but if you don't have it, just use something similar.
Наприклад, да? Ось.
Like something like this.
Якщо ви хочете вниз, тоді йдіть наверх.
If you want to go up, you go down. If you want to go down, go up.
Малюнок, який робить Аня.
Can you please focus on the Anna's drawing? Yana wants to say something. I don't quite understand. It should be random, like when you go up, you go down. Why do we do that? We build new neural connections, new connections. So you don't follow your usual steps. You are creators of your own life. You make new decisions. And we wanted to make sure that our life is more diverse. You need to introduce new things. You just don't follow the usual path. You just try to be more creative.
Питання є, очі закрити можна під час малювання лінії.
And
Можна
you can even
зачастити
close your eyes. You can close your eyes. You can
на цій камері, де картинка.
um,
Так,
Так,
нормально.
можу аж
Anna
показати.
can
І це нічого не дасть, так нормально. Ми чуємо тебе
Так,
всі.
я
mute herself
запитати, будь ласка, дасть
and
дівчинки звук.
unmute the device where she's drawing. Okay,
Слава, можете звук увімкнути, будь ласка?
Ліній буде багато. Це ми
there will
зараз
be a lot
працюємо,
of
хто хоче
lines. We're
малювати.
just
Коли
practicing.
працюєте,
That's
просто
not
малюйте
yet
лінії,
neurographics.
будуть
We're
лінії.
just practicing.
Можна
We're
малювати
just
тільки
practicing with
рукою, якщо є правша.
these lines,
О, ну,
neurographic
ну,
lines.
чудово.
Can I
Але це буде дуже
use my left hand if I'm
Ну, але можна
my
я зараз візьму.
if I normally use right hand? You can do that. Actually,
Це прям
yes, it's a nice idea.
задача з зірочкою. Це прям супер, супер прям буде прикольно вам
Well, that
спробувати.
should be an advanced
Можна
task,
спробувати?
actually. But you can try that.
What is the difference between neurographical and bionic lines? There is no difference. Немає різниці між біонічними та нейрографічними. Вони
Actually,
дуже
yeah, there
схожі.
is no difference between neurographic and bionic lines. They're very similar.
Так, так, давайте.
Бо я чекаю черги.
Давайте.
Can I just ask something? Yes, sure.
Я зрозуміла, що малювати
The way I understand it,
щось типу такого не можна, правильно?
you can't draw something like this.
Так.
І просто лінію
I don't do that.
Добре.
And we don't draw straight lines, right?
Бачення. А якщо,
Так.
наприклад, я зі своєю там інтуїцією, характером хвилею, малюю, наприклад, я зараз
If
покажу.
I'm about to draw, I'm about to show you.
Ну, наприклад, да, моє
For example, something like this.
Ось воно іде на початку. От таке,
This
як
is where it
по
begins.
діаграмі.
Дуже ровно.
It's
А
um,
потім
it's like the hard lines.
туди. Оце в мене було питання. На початку або взагалі в цій лінії, можливо, бо
In
я
the
думала, ви
beginning.
сказали, що отак от не можна. Ну от якщо таке бачення, чи
You said it's not
Пряма,
possible. You can't do that, but
з нею щось зробити, і вона не є нейрографічною.
yeah,
Вона
if it's a straight line, you can't do anything about it.
трошечки.
кудись закруглена, а кудись
It should be rounded, but it should not be straight.
Так. Але не одна на одну. От дивіться, отак от не можна.
You just don't do that. It just
Таке ні. Вона має
doesn't
бути
cross
до
itself.
кінця.
Тобто з одного краю почала в інший
From one end
не обов'язково крайній,
to
да,
another.
діагоналі, а просто може там в бік. Потім
Так.
наступний, да, от хаотично.
You can go to the side. You don't necessarily connect opposite edges, but something like that. You can draw from left to right, or from right to left or up and down, and so on.
Як то кажуть. А можливо, щоб ви показали, можливо, ви це будете зараз робити.
Would you show us
Показали від початку до кінця,
from the very beginning till the end,
як правильно це робити?
so the pieces of puzzle could fit in our mind, so we could understand the methodology itself? Okay, let me show you on the presentation about lines. When you say draw your lines as your heart feels, well, some of the colleagues suggested we should upgrade and reach the higher level, but you can just draw the way just how you feel. Just ask your heart how it feels. Now let me turn the presentation on again to show you bionic lines. These are here. Now these are Neuro lines. See how they're shaped? And in these, we insert these circles or balls. So each will show what you are, and then you can add other elements. This is what they can be like. These are neurographic lines too. They could be different. They could be stretched, or they could be curved. Here, for example, here's another example. Some of these lines are neurographic, but not all. Some of these are just straight. Look at the tree branches, for instance. Or look at the wave. Look at the mountains. But we don't need the peaks. Or, for instance, if it's a lightning.
Так, і ще тут запитання від Адама було.
I have a question from Adam.
Ну, так, Адаме, дивіться. Тобто ви, як я вже сказала, да,
Adam,
питання, що ви можете, якщо вам важко йти проти
if it's hard to go against yourself, you can choose a lighter version of it and simply draw what you like and the way you like it. That is also possible. We haven't started yet, Zaryana. We're just dealing with lines. This is just to show you what neurographics look like. Next, you see where your lines cross. Here's one cross, here's another one, 1, 2, and then you link these and then color them in. Like this. And then they will look like neural links. Now, and if you create it straight, it will not be a curl. It will create more sharp angles. This will not be neurographics. You need to make it curved and then color in the curve. Give or take. Now, also make sure the edges are tidy. Don't draw anything sticking out. Inside, you see white spots. So now if you have this situation, you can do this. You can even it out, smooth out, and color it in like this. It's best to have a wider colored in area than bits sticking out. But this curl is quite large. It's ideally we should avoid it. Smaller is better. And that's why we need the liners here. These felt tip liners, it's to color in these bits.
Щось зі звуком. Треба в камеру говорити просто.
Бачите, оце найкращий варіант. Ось, оце найкращий варіант, як це
This is the best option. See, tidy, clearly seen. So now we've covered neurographic lines. Now let's follow the algorithm.
До презентації і зараз треба взяти аркуш папіру чистий.
So I want you to take a sheet of paper and we will work. So we have 3 criteria of focus of your attention in the process of drawing. It's what you feel in the body, what emotions you feel, and what are you thinking about.
А зараз ми спробуємо. Зараз я розкажу Юрі, як це ж
Now I will tell Yura just to explain how the lines work. Let's work on the technique. Here's the algorithm. First, think and answer the question, who am I? What does it mean to me? For instance, you take a sheet of paper and write out mediator.
Що це для мене означає?
What does it mean for me?
Я допомагаю людям
I help people to settle their conflicts or disputes. It's important for me. This is how I manifest myself in the world.
Далі, який я,
Next,
коли я медіатор?
what am I like when I'm mediating? And it could be a wife, husband, religious representative, etc. Next, what do I do?
Перший блок запитань. І саме це і є одна зі
This is
сходинок
the first block of issues.
вашої самоідентифікації.
And this is an important step in your
Частина
self-identification.
які мої принципи,
Next, what are my values? What are my principles?
сторони, здібності,
My strongest and weakest
бажання,
points?
інтереси, хобі, цілі.
Next, my dreams, wishes, interests, hobby, and goals.
Найголовніший можна написати, яка
And then,
ваша сторона.
what is my dark side?
Зрозуміти, яка
This
ваша
is
сторона.
for the
Подумайте,
bravest.
що більше всього
Now,
вас
by
дратує
dark
або
side,
вбиває.
think of
Це
what
буде ваше дзеркало.
irritates you
Наприклад, мене дратує,
in other
що,
people.
якась моя подружка
For instance,
себе
it irritates me,
знімає,
irritates
наприклад,
me
не любить себе,
when a girlfriend of mine, she doesn't like herself
Тож
and
це
she
буде
always
ваше
sacrifices
дзеркало і показує вам,
for
як
other
ви
people.
саме ставлені до себе.
That's like your
Це
mirror,
ваша тіньова сторона.
and that's your dark side.
Да, тобто є якась внутрішня частина, яка не приймає мене таким або
So one internal part of
Але
yourself
не готовий
does not
прийняти
accept
це,
you as
можете
you are.
просто пропустити. І зараз, будь ласка,
Now, if you're not prepared to deal with this, you can just skip this point. Now, please take 5 to 6 minutes for this self-reflection. Do we write this down on a sheet of paper? Yes, correct.
О, супер, Дар'я, бачу вашу картинку. Да, ви
Very
зрозуміли.
good. Yes, I see your picture. You understood me correctly.
Оце
Just make sure it doesn't meander too much.
Угу. Так, і від краю до краю, да.
Okay, and from one side to another.
Так, можна взагалі про медіатора нічого не говорити. І тут
Yes, we don't need to say anything about mediator.
напишете, свою професію. Якщо немає професії,
You can simply mention your profession.
не працюєте, тоді ясно.
If you don't have a profession yet, if you're a student, for instance, well, that is your self-identification.
Оце все прописуємо,
Because
знаєте,
when we
ефект
uh,
вау. Тож
write
ви
about all
це,
this,
і насправді це
it is sort of a wow effect.
як це правильно сказати, грані, да? Грані вас як
It's
діаманту, алмазу. Це
it's
ваші
like different facets of a diamond, and each facet
прав, іноді обов'язків.
means or envisages certain rights, duties, feelings, certain features of your character,
В інтеракціях, взаємодії з іншими.
and shows your interaction with other people.
Наприклад, якщо я донька,
For
я
instance,
знаю, що в мене є
If I'm a daughter, I know that I have parents. And if I'm a caring daughter, then I visit my parents over the weekend. But if I'm a mother, then it includes the whole range of things. So what's important now that you work on who you are? So if you're a mother, dad, friend, colleague, boss, what am I like? What do I do? Mother, father, husband, etc.
Давайте я зараз, Адам, да, бачу, чую ваше повідомлення. Давайте я вам
Yes, I see your message, Adam.
просто для всіх, хто англійською мовою, зроблю
Oh,
зараз це англійською сюди, тому що
let me do this in English for all the English speakers.
алгоритм скину сюди.
I will send the algorithm here in English for all the English listeners in the audience.
Ань, можна скинути в чат питання і англійською, і українською, щоб вони були перед очима просто.
Да,
коли
да,
ти
зараз.
скинеш
Е,
відео вімкнено.
This way you will have all the questions both in Ukrainian and in English in chat. Just give me a sec.
Оголосіть запитання, щоб ми чули всі запитання, тому що не всі їх можуть чути, дехто
Not
не
everyone caught all the questions.
Спостерігає за трансляцією.
It's best to post things in chat. Some are listening and watching on the webcast. There's a question from Yuri. How can you self-identify if you use if you draw lines based on rules and algorithms? Well, that's the whole point. Each drawing using the algorithm we suggested, your drawing will be unlike any other drawing. It will be unique. So it's not about rules, because graphics, it's creativity, you know, it's art. Two different people will draw two different drawings based on the same rules, because you have a vast range of choices, and so you can draw your lines any way you like them. There are no rules like in court hearing, you know. But if you do want to transform, it's best you look at things at a different angle. So try to make an effort and draw the lines not in the usual pattern, but in an unusual way. But it's an effort. Just try to draw it in a different way, in the way that you're not used to. That will irritate slightly our brain, and that will affect the neural links in our brains. And if you draw like this for 10, 20 days, then everyday perception of life will change gradually. And it's not just about neural links, it's about how you perceive common things.
по-іншому.
Now,
А коли
if
навпаки, да, за певними навченими правилами, тобто я б не назвала це навчені правила.
it's not learned rules,
А все інше ми будемо робити як
because even with learned rules, you still have a lot of freedom, creative freedom. And if you look at my drawing, you look at Hannah's drawing, and you will see that they're completely different. Yet we operate under the same rules. So don't be afraid that your drawing will be kind of narrow-minded or standard. It won't. Let me know in the chat if I answered your question.
Ні, де я не бачу.
От вище англійською.
I would really appreciate про лінк. Так, я зараз от вже скинула англійською першу частину.
Okay, I've just posted in English the first part of what we did.
Так, про перспективу. Так.
Питає про
Бути
медіацію.
відкритим до того, щоб змінювати нашу перспективу. Так.
We need to be open in order to change our perspective. Keep an open mind. There was also a question about how to write, how to draw. Well, we do so many different roles. We are annoyed by ourselves because we can't keep up with all the commitments and duties and work, because we play a role of a daughter, of a father, of mediator, psychologist, attorney, etc. And so many roles we have to juggle with, all comprehending all of this and depicting all of this in one space is not easy. The key magic of this Neuro drawing is that each practice helps us to show ourselves, and basically my favorite part is when I color in these areas, and then the drawing becomes wavy and harmonious, and all of this can be harmonized in the context of all our roles.
Thank you, Iryna. Now there's a question. If it doesn't coincide with who I am, what does that mean? Well, that means you need to talk about that. Maybe there's a certain internal conflict, or maybe it means that you can integrate both. And if it's conflicting, in different situations you will behave differently, but it depends on which part of you is actualized. That means being actualized. So we need to talk about that. I can't just do a generic description. Did you do that part? Can you please put some check marks or dots or anything, or plus signs? Olga, we normally do neurographics twice a year, normally on winter holidays, on Christmas, for mediators, and during a forum. This is our third or fourth forum. This is a tradition that we have. But we definitely do that at least once a year, so watch for our announcements and join us. Yes, you can Write plus sign. Okay, you need a little bit more time to think and to meditate. Okay, that's fine. You can reflect on that. We'll just give it 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, they take some silence for a minute or two to be able to reflect. Okay. Okay. If you're ready, here's the next step for you. Talk about 7 to 9, or come up with 7 to 9 identifiers or main identifiers of who you are. Like I have mediator for myself, or wife, or woman, mother, a daughter, a sister, well, psychologist, and a whole lot of others. Now I can put them in a circle. What's is of the utmost importance for me. I mean, I want, can we just take a minute or two of silence, because it just makes me think. Whatever you say, it makes me think of it. But I just want to meditate on what I've drawn. Yeah, we'll give you 2 minutes of silence. You can use a timer. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay.
Чи треба ще часу, Луїска?
Do you need more time? Did you do it? Well, we need to ask it in a chat. There are some questions here. Okay, if you're ready, we can move on, and you can select. Yeah, number 1, right. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Number 1, you need to come up with 7 to 9 identifiers of yourself. Like, I'm a mediator, that's what I do, and that's what it means for me. For me, it means bringing good to people, helping people overcome conflicts. And this is what you write down. You select a mediator, and then you just draw. So we had a bit of preparation. So who am I? What I'm doing? What are my values, principles, my strong sides, my skills? So these big arches will identify you. They start with a small circle, small dot in the end. So how do you do it correctly? That was the question. We'll do as much as we can, and then you'll just need to fill the spaces with colors. And this method, with this algorithm, it was created by me. And then you just need to do it yourself. And you can do it every day. But there are different algorithms out there. You can come up with your own, depending on what you need. There are many different algorithms on YouTube. You can watch, you can draw your own plans and wishes and your own self-value. And I actually wanted us to draw this self-value in a form of a flower with petals, really beautiful. And even if you are sick, you can draw your health. You can depict your condition, your clients, your welfare, your happiness, anything you like. Sky is the limit. You're only limited with your own concepts. So you can draw anything, just think about it. And then when you know the algorithm, you can do it yourself. If we draw plans, this can be different shapes or a timeline, just like a line and with different shapes on it. When you do neurographics, you create neurographic lines, and then you round all of the intersections. You add small circles, small and big, and you connect it to the field. You round it, and then you add color. You add anchor shape, and the algorithm is not really simple, but you have all sorts of algorithm on YouTube. If you can't concentrate on drawing, you don't have access to pencils, it's not a problem because you will be able to access the recording as soon as you find time and a possibility. You can play the recording and you can repeat it once again. If you don't have an opportunity to do it, or you don't have time or tools to concentrate on it. And actually, we do have recordings of all previous forums and workshops. So the previous one was the music of internal harmony and balance. We drew musical instruments. Music was the topic, the main subject. Sonia. So actually, what we drew is a sunflower. Yes, a symbol of Ukraine. You can do that as well. And these algorithms are unique. You won't see them anywhere because they were created during a forum. It was created by a forum for a forum, actually.
It's really self-reflective and meditative for mediators. That's right. It is really very meditative. Вибачаюся, так, це дійсно, це і саморефлексія, і дуже
Yeah, this is about self-reflection. It's necessary for mediators. It just calms you down. Yeah, we can drop it in a chat. All the links, everything. And just like Anna said, I had certain problems with my health. And I didn't bother anyone. I just sat down and I concentrated on it. And I drew the part of the body that was sick. I worked with it. And it helped. I didn't know how it worked, but it did. It's just a tool. That's how it works. It really does. And people are so unique. We have all our answers to our questions from within us. And your job is to unlock your potential you have within you. Victoria is asking about circles. What do you mean by that? I will let you know. We're just preparing ourselves for neurographics. We've selected 7 to 9 main identifiers describing who you are, your roles. 7 to 9. And what we do, that's actually the core of your personality. Now you just start with a single dot in the middle of your sheet of paper. Oh, you can't see now. Okay. I will just tell you what we're about to do, and we'll stop sharing the presentation. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a dot in the middle. That's you. In the middle of a universe. And this is how I started as a personality. This is how my life started on the planet. And these 7 to 9 words will be these arches. When you draw each arch, you just think about it. I'm a child. I help people. I'm effective. I'm useful. I'm kind. I understand people. And when you draw this line, think about it. That I'm a daughter. The next one, I care about my parents. I'm kind. I'm bold. I'm creative. And this is how you draw all of the 7 to 9 waves or arches, and then you'll just draw, creating these circles. That's what neurographic is about. I'll stop sharing the presentation, and I'm going to draw this for you. So you create a little dot in the middle. That's who you are. This is how you started out. And then you start drawing. I'm a mediator. I love people. I love my work. I love what I do. I ensure communication. The second one, I'm a wife. I love my husband. I'm caring. I take care about my husband. I inspire him, and so on. Number 2, I think about who I am, and then I just draw. Make sure that it connects the center with the edge of the paper, so it should go beyond the sheet of paper, actually. You don't leave it like that. There's a question. Do I understand it right? Like I think about being kind, and then I just go in the opposite direction. This is not a neurographic line. That's different. You just draw arches. That's not a neurographic line. You should make an arch. If you made a line, if you don't like it, you can redraw it. It's fine. Yeah, just like a snail. So it should be a wave or a notch, whatever. When you're done and you like it, or you had to redraw it and you finally like it, now is a moment when you can draw circles. Every circle is a skill, your strong side, certain principle, important part of your dream, or it's your dream. I'll just copy for you to avoid sharing the presentation again. Okay, one more time. Values, principles, strong sides, your benefits. This is the Ukrainian version, and I will copy the English version as well. All right. So these are your circles. This is how we draw them. So I can see that it makes a perfect circle because you can integrate it in the arch. So I can do that. So the part of the arch will be part of my circle. So I'll just integrate the circle using a part of the arch. Circles should be different sizes, big and small. It can also go beyond your sheet of paper. So I'm out of space and I go beyond the sheet of paper. It's all right. We just it just means that we are big and we're not limited with a single sheet of paper. You can be intersected. So right, they can overlap.
Мікрофон.
Де вам на ваш смак коло буде найгарніше всього?
Where do you think the circle will fit best? That's where you draw it.
А може одне коло накладатися на інше?
Так, може накладатися.
Can one circle go over the other? Yes, it can. Thank you.
Можна навіть зробити коло в колі.
In fact, you can even draw a circle inside a circle. For instance, the value of family and the value of my relations with the husband.
Ми як чоловік і дружина. Ось ми всередині. Да, ще
That's two of us inside. That is also possible.
Кіл, а дивіться, кіл стільки, скільки ви собі там написали.
The number of circles should roughly match your values, strong points, wishes, dreams, etc. There are limitations. I mean, you can draw as many as 100.
Темну сторону також, да. Її можна якось
The dark side, the same.
Скажімо так, прикольно, да, щось таке зробити особливе, мабуть, взагалі, щоб воно десь трошечки виходило, наприклад, за вас.
The dark side can be something unusual. Something, it could be something protruding on the outside, or some unusual twist or shape inside. With our, this is with our psychic, something we're trying to suppress, but we don't recognize this. There's a lot of potential there, a lot of resource, and congested energy. Now, this is the base, the foundation. You are large with all your values, dreams, etc. So this is basically our new drawing? Yes, indeed. This is indeed a new drawing. We start with a clean sheet. Now, Bionic will go over this.
І, до речі, момент, якщо ви думаєте, що там, наприклад,
Also, if you think you don't have enough circles, or if you think there are too many, well, you can add later.
Так, дивлюся картинку.
Now, let me see the picture.
Цікаво, як у вас вийшло.
Interesting how you did it.
Правильно, Тай, да.
I'm looking at Ty's drawing. Very interesting. Now, Ty, it's best to have the lines touching on the circumference of the round shape of the circle. You see, circumference touches on your curved line. In other words, they have to crisscross. We don't put them as beads on a string, because otherwise you have too many crosses. But in neurographics, this is allowed, but based on the algorithm, we try to do. They can overlap. Yes, they can, but a circle should overlap with a line, like here.
Зараз я не знаю, видно це, да. Ось, наприклад, у мене ця дуга, і я просто
But over here,
будь ласка. От
look,
беру і роблю ще одне коло.
I can make another shape, another circle. See? And it sits on that line, essentially. It is part of that line. And then we create those curves inside and color them in. And all these dreams and principles and values will be embedded into the drawing. But in your case, like this, yeah? This is your case. There will be too many crosses. And there will be too much work.
Запитання від Адама.
I come in like a nail or star. Yes, Адам, дуже гарне запитання.
Запитання задай.
Good question, Adam.
Як може бути оця тіньова сторона, як вона може вийти?
So how can the dark side be depicted? It could be a star, something bright, something unusual,
Те, що може чіпляти вашу увагу.
something that catches your eye. Yes, it can be. In fact, it could be a special symbol with which your dark side is associated. For instance, you don't like tight fists. You don't like frugal people. Then you can just draw the dollar sign, for instance, or the euro sign. You know, that is also allowed. Now, until we recognize the problem, we cannot solve it. It's like Alcoholic Anonymous. You know, until you admit that you're an alcoholic, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to first recognize, look at it straight in the eye, and then you can work with it. And so that's the first step. You recognize you have the dark side, and then when you integrate it with yourself, then that becomes your major resource. Yeah, the dark side of mediator. Something that you're afraid to show to the parties in the mediation room. Yes. Right. When we had hard parts in mediation and we wanted to do something about the frustration. Tatiana, you did a good job. Nice colors. Yes, I like that. That's exactly what I meant, by the way. And they can sit with one side on the line. Now, what do we do next? We do neurographics. And that's where we need the bionic lines. So now you find some space, free space, here. Like I have 3 corners that are available. And I can start like this. And I lead this line through all the objects that I have. Of course, I can't go through each and every element, but I can go through quite a few. And you need 3 or 4 lines like this that would crisscross the entire sheet of paper. So that's my second line. And that's my third line.
Три-чотири лінії. Цього буде достатньо.
3 to 4 is enough.
У мене 3, тому що я бачу, що в мене забагато всього. 4
I have
мені буде
3
дуже too much.
because otherwise my drawing would be too busy. But if you have sufficient space, like if your drawing is not cluttered too much, then you can do 4.
Да, можна навіть і 5 робити. Бо у мене було по алгоритму навіть 4-5. Ну, але тут от зараз я
Actually, up to 5 is allowed. Like 3 to 5 is fine, depending on the situation.
Якщо вийшло пару гострих кутів. Не страшно, ми будемо далі їх...
If you have a couple of sharp angles, what do we do with that? That's the question from someone in the chat.
Ага, ось, наприклад, у вас кути.
Here, for instance, you have corners, here angles. Then we start from here and we draw the neurographic line like this. And then it stopped being sharp. Here's another peak, and we lead a neurographic line from it. And it's no longer a peak. And here you can again draw a curve, color in, and then we're done like this. And you fix the problem. So if you have a peak like this, or an angle like this, then you start a neurographic line from it, and then you draw a neurographic pattern there. And it stops being a sharp angle.
Дивіться, коли також є бахрома і не дуже опрятно, що ми робимо? Ми тоді...
Now, if you had ended up with a fringe, you can shade it like this. But just bear in mind, if you have this crisscrossing like this, you never do this, not like this. It should never be straight. It needs to be curved like this. We must never allow any angles, any corners, sharp corners. Everything should be wavy and curved, like this. Because if you do this, then you ended up with a ball. And that's not what you want in neurographics. So if you have a crossroad like this, you draw one curve and another curve, and it should face the inside, okay? And then you color it in. And that creates the feeling of calmness, harmonization, lack of conflicts, because those sharp angles represent, conflicts. And you end up having these curved thing. Now, see here a fringe, because I'm not using the table. Now, if I end up with a fringe, I do this. In other words, from a thick line, I make a thin line gradually. No fringes are allowed. Also, just to remind you, in your drawing, by the way, look, this was a New Year Christmas tree. Now, we need to make sure that all the lines end at the edge of the sheet. In other words, you can't have this line. You have to take it all the way to the edge of the sheet, and at the other end too, all the way to the edge. Never leave it unfinished. So it starts from one end of the sheet of paper and ends at another. And now it's a good time for you to take a thin felt tip pen and curve all these angles here.
Yes. Так, Тай. Тай пише, що це
Yes,
має
Ty.
так плисти в потоці, як медіація. Так. І
In
всі
other words, it needs to flow as mediation, and all sharp
рефлектують на
angles,
Так.
they reflect the conflict. Yes, they do. That's precisely my point.
Листочки концертувати коло, а я просто хвилі в різні боки. Так, Наталя, я не зрозуміла нічого, що початок не скіл. Що ви маєте на увазі?
I didn't understand Natalia's question.
Можна
Наталя Король?
будь ласка, Наталі Король?
Can you turn your mic on and ask it directly?
Далі є відповідь.
А, далі. Тут просто далі є ще запитання.
Oh,
Скажіть,
Iryna has already answered the question. Good. So that's taken care of.
Так. Якщо комусь хочеться додати ще якісь кола,
Now,
наприклад,
if someone wants to add some
з яких я можу ще додати, ось, наприклад, ось
some more circles,
три кола. Ось тоді я беру,
like here, for instance, then I
це може бути якась моя
add.
нова мрія,
this could be my new dream,
або
perhaps,
якийсь мій інтерес.
or an interest, or some an enthusiasm, or talent that I want to foster in myself. Like here, for instance, I've just created a circle.
Курс вокалу або курс
Go and take singing classes, or French classes, or a new hobby, or a dream,
подорож, наприклад.
travel around the globe,
Або там примирити 1000 людей. Ну, тобто,
or
що у вас є.
reach 1,000 agreements for people.
Не знаходить спільної мови для взаємодії. І ось так само додаємо додатково ще кола.
And
Як
we can also
вони
add
можуть налягати, да, один на одного.
additional circles. They can touch upon each other. They can even overlap like this. That's no problem.
Єдине, щоб вам було комфортно. Тут знову ж таки, як
The only thing is it needs to be comfortable for you. As Iryna stated, there is no right or wrong pattern. Just use your liner and just imagine that each element represents your certain identity, you know, mother, husband, friend, mediator, whatever. In fact, you can even make inscriptions. In each circle, you can write, "This is my dream of a new house." Or another circle could be, "This is my advanced training course that I'd like to take in mediation." Or some special skill that you have. I'm very good at baking cakes, or you know, something like that. So you can add inscriptions. I can see a message from Adam. Let me see.
Хочу зберегти мій комп'ютер, ваш малюнок. Так просто він мені це не показує чомусь.
У мене також завантажиться, воно
Так.
великого розміру.
Бачу.
Yes, I can see.
Ага, бачу. Ну, дивіться.
Yeah, I understand.
Ви вже це зробили, ви можете тоді просто оці
Well, you did
полоси,
that.
це має бути. Ви їх маєте
Just
оці
make sure you do away with the peaks, with sharp angles, using the technique that I showed you. Let me show you again, okay? Because in your triangle, I have this star, a very creative star, I must say, with 5 peaks.
Ось, ви тоді маєте його нейрографувати.
And you
Можна
have
ще
to
щось робити.
create
Можна
neurographic
потім-
lines.
можна взагалі його
You can do
нейрографувати.
something else.
Що ви тоді ви робите? Ви
If you can see this triangle, you can
не знаю, да, от видно. Робите таку аркушу, тоді ведете,
create
ви
neurographic from it as well. Like, for example, you
нейрографуєте.
draw a line and you neurograph it.
Є, да? Великий трикутник або якась
So you
інша
have this
фігура.
large triangle or any other shape.
Берете з одного кінця арки,
So you just draw a line from one end to another. You draw neurographic lines and you neurograph
далі
this
іншу
triangle.
ведете.
Another line,
І також нейрографуєте цей трикутник.
and you neurograph this triangle to make sure there are no straight lines.
Наприклад, ось бачите, і вже він у вас не
Here is an
трикутник,
example.
він же нейрографований.
And now this
Можна ще додати
triangle is a
лінію,
neurographic
наприклад,
triangle.
всередині, наприклад.
And you can draw another line in the
Я
middle.
дуже приблизно, це не зовсім в мене такі нейрографічні вийшли, да, це я швиденько.
So they're not really neurographic lines, but just wanted to make it real quick so that you understand. So any lines can be neurographed, but there is a catch. These intersections will be small and sometimes arches don't really fit. So in these small sections, you can just put a small dot, just so that you can barely see it.
Ось це щодо нейрографування окремих фігур. Ну і все, тоді, коли ми тут зараз підходимо до того, що ми нейрографуємо все. Тобто ми беремо кожен з наших фіксів, перетинів, неважливо, він є гострим, не гострим. Взагалі це не має значення.
And
Ми
it
просто
doesn't matter if it's sharp or not.
лайнером ми
Just use a sharp liner marker to round all intersections.
Мікрофон.
Наші кружочки кола, коли єднаються до
And when you connect
дух, то ми
the
також
circles to arches, you also need to round it, round the intersections.
під'єднуємо, так?
Ти коли голову нахиляєш,
draw
ми
connections.
тебе чути просто.
When you tilt your head and you far from the mic, we can't hear you.
Так, зрозуміло. Дякую,
Okay,
що ви мені
okay, thank
сказали.
you for
Тоді
letting me
будемо
know.
малювати ось так.
I'll
Я-
try to do this
А,
without
це того, що треба дати всі перетини, незалежно від того, які вони.
tilting my head. So, do you understand how it works?
Це не гострі кути, їх всі
All
потрібно замальовувати.
Angles
Можна взагалі, коли ви це робите, навіть
should
собі
be rounded.
медитацію включити.
You can also
Або
activate a
саме
meditation,
далі
or
читати, наприклад,
you
да,
can
ось,
read
е,
something to
теми на
meditate.
кшталт Я гарний спеціаліст своєї
Something you can enjoy, like I do my job very well. I do my job well to become to be a good father or a good wife. Can come up with ideas. If somebody asked you to do something and you just didn't find the time, and now you can recall this while making the drawing. So you can do that now, or you just can say sorry to that person. Couldn't do that, so you can do a bit of reflection. Really nice meditative practice.
І вона дуже класно впливає саме на головний мозок.
Really helps your brain.
Округлення ми нібито прибираємо
These
ці конфлікти.
Roundings is like getting rid of conflicts.
Розчиняємо в гармонії.
You just dissolve it in the harmony.
Думати про свої якісь конфлікти, які у вас є.
You can think about
Внутрішні
your
сили.
existing conflicts, even internal conflicts,
Як ви їх розчиняєте
or
через свої
personality conflicts. So you can see them dissolve.
Дуже
through
класно, коли ви змінюєте
drawing.
свій внутрішній стан.
It's really nice when you change your internal states.
Та вода може стати в газовому стані може бути, да,
You
газом,
know,
або може стати льодом.
water can
І
become gas
так
or
само і людина, вона насправді може через
ice.
саме свої стани змінювати
Same with
свій
people.
настрій, своє
People can
життя,
change their
оточення,
attitude,
свою
their
перспективу свою. І можна
surroundings,
через нейрографування
their
думати про
prospects.
те, які
It's
стани
really
працюють за позитивні.
helpful
Тому що
to
кожен
think about
персонаж
what
розуміє
states
кожного.
you need to
Окрім
take,
того, зрозуміло, що це має бути щось
because
аналогічне
there
і
are
для
no
нас, і для
limits,
інших.
and it should be
І не
very
порушуючи закон свободи вибору.
environmental friendly for yourself and for others. You don't want to violate people's freedom.
Нужно подумати, а що я хочу дати в цій
Think about it. What
хочу я
do I
служити
want to
своєму
give
людям?
to the universe?
Чи,
Do
мабуть, я хочу
I
зробити
want to
щось
serve
добре,
to
що
people? Or
ще
maybe I need to
важливіше
serve
для
myself.
себе?
Maybe I need to do something
Що для мене
for
важливо, чого
myself.
мені не вистачає?
What's important? What's so important for me? What do I need? What do I
Можна
lack?
відповісти собі на запитання,
I can answer
що я роблю
your
для
own
себе
question.
через любов до себе.
What am I doing for myself
Якщо я
through
себе
loving
люблю,
myself?
себе люблю, приймаю,
I mean,
приймаю, що я можу
I
зробити?
love myself. I accept
Так,
myself.
можна
What can I
робити
do about
дихальні
it?
вправи, да,
Yes, you can
дякую.
do some breathing techniques.
Мгм.
Yeah, thank you.
Саме
Thank you
так.
for the tip. That's right.
Тай пише, що можна
Tai
розглянути
writes that
свою швидкість, да,
you
швидкість
can
свого
consider the
дихання.
pace of your breath
Так само, як зробити себе, привести себе до того стану, який потрібен.
as well as putting yourself in the right state.
Це такий момент внутрішньої медитації, спостереження за
It's about
собою,
internal meditation,
свого стану,
self-observation, observing, changing, observing your state, change.
Для мене
relaxing.
це дійсно акт любові до себе. Акт
For me, it's like an
самопізнання,
act of love and care to yourself,
акт вдячності до себе.
an act of kindness and gratitude to yourself.
До речі, коли ви потім закінчите
By the
цю
way,
роботу,
when you're done with this
багато
exercise,
варіантів. Її можна, наприклад, надрукувати
there are some
на
nice options. You can print it and you can
Можна
put it on your
навчатися
t-shirt.
і всі
You
будуть
can put
питати
it on your
вас,
cup,
що це таке, де
and
ти
people will
купив
ask you,
такого.
wow, what is that?
І це буде, по-перше,
Where did you
приємне
buy it?
нагадування про форум, про
And
той
it will
час,
be
який
just a
ви
nice memory about the forum,
А
about the
по-друге,
time
це
you
така
dedicated to
унікальна
yourself.
якась річ, яку можна
And it's also a unique
презентувати, зробити
thing
спеціальну
you
роботу
can
з
present
окремою
to someone as a
людиною.
gift, to the one you love.
Бачу.
Yeah,
Мгм.
right.
Глядаю. Ой, ну клас, дуже гарно.
Olga published her drawing. Looks nice.
Так, гарно у вас виходить.
Great.
Ще багато чого треба
You're doing great.
працювати,
And you have
продумувати.
to
Молодець.
continue with neurographics, but you're on the right track.
Так, хто хоче
I like
ще
it.
подивитися, що у вас є, будь ласка, це ми
So
продовжуємо.
if you want to share it, you're free to do it.
Ще раз кажу, що ця процедура вона може підійти не 100% всім. Да? Є декілька відсотків людей, хто, особливо ті, хто
This
завжди
procedure is not
поспішає, у кого немає там
good for
часу,
everyone. I mean, some
або
people are
хто
just
не
in a
любить
hurry,
ось таку, детальну
or some
роботу.
people just don't
Тобто,
like
говорити,
doing
моя мама,
detailed
наприклад,
work
рекомендувала,
like
що
my
вона
mom
вже там 60
tried
років,
to do it,
да,
and
і
she's
вони всі
66,
моїй
and she
мамі
said,
це не підходить, така маленька деталізація якась.
oh, just too many
Взагалі, 2
details.
години сидіти? Я кажу,
I
«Ні».
mean,
Вона каже, «Ні,
do I
ні,
need to
в мене
waste
є
2
ще
hours of my
роботи».
time? Thank you very much.
І
I
це
have
нормально.
things to do.
Тобто,
And
якщо
that's all
ви
right.
це потім там малювати зі своїми рідними, це окей.
Even if
Це
you
поважати
try to draw it
право
with
рідної
your
людини
family,
до того
it's
процесу.
fine when they say no
Це
because
не
they're free to
заходить
choose. Some people just don't like it.
да, це нормально.
And we say it's okay.
Але з іншого боку, да,
But
це
on the
може
other
бути
hand,
темною стороною, і у вас є певний
it
спротив,
can
ви
mean
можете
you have a
зробити
dark
це
side and
потрібно.
there's a certain resistance within. So you
Це
can
так
just
само, да,
explore
робити зусилля, можливо,
that as well.
ваше, але у вас є певний спротив, і це таке.
And then you will realize
Плюс
it's
більше.
you can relate, but there's a certain
Зрозуміло.
resistance, and you can explore that.
Розповідаю, у мене був
I always say we had a retreat, and there was a man, he was a banker, was working in a financial institution. He was very annoyed and very upset, and he's like, "What are you doing with us? Like, we're here for retreat, and you're just making us draw things." And I was like, "Yeah, you're free to do whatever you want. We can't hear you." Yeah, I mean, I told him, "You can give it a try," and then we just couldn't stop him. We did the next activity, and he just went on drawing, and he's like, "I really enjoy it so much because it's so relaxing." It really helps to settle your anxiety. There are people with a high level of anxiety, when they start drawing things, just vanishes. And you're like, you just dissolve in the drawings.
Є рука.
And you just feel you're a creator.
Розумієте, мамо? Ну, Нелічко, дивіться, якщо вам не заходить, то нормально, це окей. Головне зараз
Nella wrote, "I understand your mom. It's all right. If it just doesn't work, we're not forcing you."
Я поділюся думками.
Can I just share my thoughts when you said there are certain limitations?
Чого я поставила таке питання? Тому що, наприклад,
The reason why I asked that question,
вже є обмеження без цих різких рухів, я б навіть так це назвала, да? Якщо можна, ці от гілочки, як ви казали, гори не підходять.
you said there are no peaks, no abrupt turns. It should look like a wave, and wave just makes you calm. So this is why you need to find the right time when you calm. When you're worried, I mean, you need to switch first. Besides, sometimes when I don't feel like doing it, there are certain times when I'm just crazy, and I need to think about what I want. Yeah. And I read the comments, and I think you can just give it another try. Maybe it's the right time. So maybe I don't feel like doing it because it's not the right time. Because I'm trying to find the reason why. Maybe I need some advice. Like I'm a teacher, I'm a professional teacher. And I have my own methods.
Я просто от, знаєте, от, ага, хочу так, хочу це, а ну спробуй, так, не зайшло, так.
And I just try things. I try something new and I try to perfect it. So can you comment on that? What kind of limitations you have in mind, except for these peaks, these abrupt turns? I feel like I can't do these waves. I can show it to you what I mean by that. Can I just show it to you? Yeah, you can just make a photo and put it in the chat. Is there something wrong? Can't see your video, your camera. I think I lost you.
Зараз бачу.
Так.
Так,
чому
оце
не
було
так?
на початку. Так, а чому ви це мали?
Yeah, this is what we had in the beginning. You can use it. Why didn't you use it? You know, over here, see this section? Shouldn't it connect with the edge in different spots? And I just have it all here.
Так.
Okay.
Дивіться, ви це малювали не на білому фоні, да?
Well, first,
Тому що там вже є якась розвіньовка.
you didn't use an empty sheet of paper because there are lines. Yes, there are pre-drawn lines. it's better to use an empty sheet of paper, but it's fine. It's all right, good enough. Now you can draw the circles. What about this over here? Even my pen is positive. Well, what do I do with this part? Should I connect it to something? No, you don't have to. You can just draw neurographic lines. Okay, what about this part?
Ні, не потрібно в одну лінію. Ви ж
Should
бачите,
it all
іменно одна лінія. Її немає.
connect in one line? No. Can you see my image? This is how it should look like.
Так. А ви, мабуть, відключилися. Я ж показувала, як робити. Ми зараз
You probably
це от
missed that part.
мальовуємо.
Yeah, this is like a spiral. And you just draw neurographic lines, 3, 4, 5.
Доробити.
So I just need to complete it.
Просто основне питання, що ви всі хвостики вивели на одну сторону. Це
Так,
може
так.
бути так, якщо це хочеться.
All of your lines,
вони
they
мають
go in one
бути
direction, but they are not supposed to
щось донизу
be as
пішло.
such. So, okay, now I can see. Now it's clear. Thank you.
На чистому аркуші.
I'll just show it to you one more time.
Ні, дивіться, от точечка, да, з якої ми починаємо.
Okay, here's the spot. And you just create these spirals and these waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Дуже забагато місця. Я сюди бац, ще
There's
одну.
lots of space, so I just fill it in. There's lots of space over here, so I make another one.
А у вас що вийшло? Ви от
And
робите
what you have is you just have all your lines on one side.
Розумієте, ось отак воно у вас вийшло.
That's what you have.
Але дивіться, зараз просто я
So
вам дуже
that's the
пропоную
thing.
взяти просто от
But I suggest that you take a empty sheet of paper without any lines because you're going to draw things for 2 hours. You're investing your energy. You know, there's a difference between buying a cup in a shopping mall and buying a cup that was painted manually with an artist. Because this artist, he obviously invested his energy and creativity. There's a soul, there's a life in this cup.
За умови, якщо є доступ до білого папірця,
So if you have access to an empty white sheet of paper, you can do that. And make sure that your lines, they go in different directions. So you need to invest 2 hours of your time instead of just struggling with this your sheet of paper with pre-drawn lines. I'm talking about aesthetics. Can be an A4 sheet of paper, but you need to make sure it's a good reminder about you, because this is what you are about.
і ще можна його навпіл ось так скласти. Ось я, наприклад, взяла
And you can also fold it in half. Like I just took an A4 sheet of paper and I just folded it in half. Yes, Victoria, I really liked your drawing. People want to move on because they're done with the exercise. Okay, you're done. Then the next step is just think about what is missing. Maybe there's a line, maybe there's a circle, and you can fill the gap. You can make an extra line if there are too many gaps, and you can put some more circles in. All right, Iryna. Yeah, it's nice, but I think you need to add some more arches and intersections, but I like it.
Так, Кирило, дивлюся. Ага,
Kirilo?
також воно хоче мені за...
It's nice too.
Чого воно? Де воно? Ага. Кирило, не знаю, чому мені потрібно якийсь хевек за HEVC завантажити. Він чомусь не показує ваш малюнок. Що можна якусь картинку його скинути,
If you
фото?
could
Тому що він не дає за...
send me a photo of your picture,
Так.
because I can't download
Я
it.
дивлюсь на вашу картинку.
Yura, let's take a look at your drawing.
Я бачу дуже багато очей на цій картині.
I can see many eyes on this drawing.
Клас. Угу.
Wonderful.
Цікаво. Дивіться, у вас от є, ви, наприклад, от дивіться, у нас, коли ми говоримо про
Now,
будь-який перетин,
when we talk about any crossing, it has 4 angles. For instance, here's the crossing.
знейрографували, а всі інші у вас залишаються, то це недороблена робота.
If you only colored in one corner,
Добре?
it's unfinished work. You have to do all 4,
4.
like this.
У вас, я бачу, є, ну,
And I can see
4, 5, я вже бачу.
4 or 5
Дивіться уважненько і
that are unfinished.
фотографуйте їх, добре?
So please complete the work.
Так. Оля,
Olha.
дивлюся. Так, є отакі маленькі перетини, дивіться. Ось такі
Now,
ось маленькі.
sometimes you have small
Бо це все
turns,
нейрографія.
small crossings.
Там, де
We do
голки,
the same thing,
кути, бачите,
like this.
нейрографуємо все. Тут от у вас зліва, бачите? Зліва у вас внизу.
On your left, at the bottom,
Їх треба також нейрографувати.
you have some of these, and you have to neurograph them.
Микола обов'язково до
Or the circle, for instance.
до загального
A circle needs to be joined.
Микола, подивіться зараз, будь ласка.
For instance, look,
Микола, бачите,
here's the
тут
square.
межі.
Sorry, here's the circle.
Маємо його сюди доєднати.
We
Саме
have to
через те,
enter it
що
like this.
ми
Join with the line
і зафарбовуємо.
and
Микола
color
буде
in.
єднати до вас.
The
Тобто,
circle needs to be joined to you,
Ця галактика. Вона є ви, і кожне коло, яке
because
ви
that
робите,
is
ви
you,
маєте його нібито вплісти, да,
and you need to embed it,
долучити його до себе,
embed it into your
привласнити його.
network.
Так, оце ваша мрія, або ваша
This could be
спільна
your dream,
частина.
or an integral part of you, or a strong point. You have to own it.
Тобто ми кола оці всі, да, ми маємо їх от долучити до себе. Бачите, да, от як я це роблю?
You see how I do it?
Ми його під'єднуємо до цієї дуги, до якої ми його з вами додали. Тож на картинці у вас не має бути жодного непід'єднаного кола і жодного
Анечка, не
непроробленого
чутно.
і жодного
чутно.
непроробленого кута, вибачаюсь.
You mustn't leave a single unfinished
Так,
angle.
дивлюсь на ваш малюнок.
Hanna, let me see your drawing.
Дуже добре.
Yes, very good.
Дуже добре.
Very good.
Також я бачу ще багато. Дивіться, ви
But again,
краще
I see many
бачите
unfinished
ці,
angles.
ці, скругляння. Зрозуміло, дивіться. Давайте
Also,
зараз.
try to do the curves a little larger.
Ганна Гость. Дивіться, от
Let me
коли
show
ви
you.
робите ось таку маленьку, і взагалі
When you make a small one, you can't see it.
трошечки побільше.
Make the curve a little larger.
З нейронними зв'язками. Тоді вона вам дасть об'єм.
Then it will create volume. Because if it's too small, you can't really see it.
Або ось у мене, да, там.
Or like this, for instance. And then I will do,
Що таке?
you know, see, you can hardly see it.
Бачите? Воно дуже-дуже маленьке.
It's just too small.
Воно не дає взагалі ефекту нейрографування.
And it
А от
doesn't
коли воно таке,
create an effect of neurographics. But this one does.
І пам'ятаємо, що ми концентруємося на відчуттях. Що
And of course, remember that we're focusing on our feelings, your emotions, your emotional background. Perhaps you're tracing something. Just watch yourself during drawing. which stages trigger more emotions.
Які думки у вас в голові?
What thoughts pop up in your mind?
Якщо я
For example,
да, і мені нібито чомусь я не задоволена собою.
if I'm dissatisfied with myself.
Що я можу зробити, щоб це якось змінити?
So think of what can I do in order to improve things?
Зробити, да, всередині себе.
What reconstruction should I make inside me?
Не чутно.
Чого мені не вистачає? Або, мабуть, чогось
What I
забагато.
lack? Or perhaps there's something is too much. How can I improve this?
Тобто, пам'ятаєте,
What
коли
can I
ви
do
робите,
about this?
ваша головна така
In other words, when you're drawing this,
творець свого життя. Я
the
сам
key
обираю,
thought for you is
що
I
я
am the creator of my life.
і я на це можу вплинути.
I decide what I'm going to be like.
Я все
As long as I
можу
live,
змінити.
I can change anything.
Так, дивлюся ще картинки.
Okay, let me see
Альона.
some more
Так, Альона,
pictures.
класна картинка, я вже це
Альона,
сказала,
your picture is very good.
дуже гарно все вийшло.
Well done.
Зараз тоді я скажу, що робимо далі.
Let me tell you what we're going to do next.
Так, да, гарно. Єдиний момент,
Мар'яна,
дуже
well
такі
done.
лінії, можна їх трошечки навести.
Now,
Там, де,
where the lines are too
я
thin,
показувала
you can
раніше, да, можна
go over them again.
зробити трохи, щоб вони були такі читабельні, да? От зліва у вас гарно, ви зробили їх
To make
тонкими,
them more
справа
conspicuous.
вони такі дуже маленькі. І допрацьовуйте, будь ласка, тому що права частина верхня у вас ще не до нейрографії.
And the top right part
Гарно.
of your drawing
Так, Дар'я.
lacks some neurographical
Реальна спираль.
coloring in.
Це мені подобається.
Daria, you have the spiral. I like it.
Мгм. Трошечки дивіться ще який момент. Коли у нас ця дуга, вона дуже
Now, when the
така
curve
яскрава, ну, ця
is
схема,
bright,
яку ми робимо, можна трошечки від неї навести лінії, щоб воно, знаєте, так плавно йшло. От з цієї
you can make
чорної
it
серединки
more
трошки більш товста лінія, а потім вже така більш тоненька,
thick.
щоб нібито вплісти її. І у вас кута
This way, it will
вона
blend
далі
into the
одразу
overall drawing better.
Альоночка, да? Чуєте мене? Оці
Can you
шарики-
hear me, Alyona?
Ой, не Альоночка, вибачаюсь, Дар'я. Вам потрібно
Sorry, Daria.
під'єднати. Зараз
So
я під'єдную.
join those circles with the lines.
Подивіться, будь ласка, на мій малюнок, да, який закріплений.
Look at my drawing, for instance.
От він в мене
Here's the
зараз
circle.
під'єднаний. Я
It hasn't been joined yet. So I create one curve here and another curve here.
Таким чином я його під'єднала.
This way,
Наприклад, моя мрія.
it's been joined.
Привласнила.
It could be my dream, and now I own it.
Розумієте? Оце треба зробити. Так, що я вже пропустила? Да, це форум з медіації. Завершення.
Так, треба пояснити для тих, хто не спочатку. Сьогодні
For
ми
those
маємо
who haven't joined us from the very beginning, today is our last day of forum. We're doing neuro drawing practice aimed at support, renewal of internal resources, and of course,
і зрозуміти, що відбувається.
it is hard for you to understand what's going on if you have only just joined, because you missed the beginning and all the explanations. However, the good news is that we are recording this, and then at your leisure, you can watch the recording from the very beginning, and then you will understand and figure it out. Yesterday, we finished our third day with Laureate Layton meditation, to be present here and now, to be more capable as mediators. And today is the fourth down. We are winding down, and we are doing some neuro drawings.
Створення воркшопів з минулорічних форумів.
This is
Скидали посилання в описі.
valuable,
Дуже просто знайти, якщо зайти.
and it's easy to find what we need.
Вкладка форуми, і ви можете увійти на попередні форуми, коли ви туди заходите.
And if you go to Mediation UA, you will find lots of materials, recorded sessions, panel discussions, including this Neuro drawing class. Darya Pavlenko did also a good job. Now, it's just that you don't have neuro drawings everywhere yet. So please take a look. I can see a large circle on the right. It hasn't been joined yet properly. So please do that. And all the corners have to be rounded. They mustn't stay sharp. Indeed, on iPad, it's not the same thing. I never use iPad. I don't even read books of iPad. I like hardbacks or paperback books. Now, those who have finished already, please look at your drawing and see if you have a space anywhere left where you can draw a heart. Those who feel like it. Those who don't, you don't have to. Because I think it's a good idea to add the energy of love here. It could be a star or a wave. In other words, something that is important for you. I will definitely add a heart to my drawing once I've found a good spot. It's like when we're looking at the clouds in the sky, trying to find resemblance to some animals or some familiar shapes. I've added my heart here.
Підрізаний, да, але от я побачила тут, і тут було пусте таке місце. І от я зараз так само його
And now I am joining this heart to my drawing.
Вибачаюсь, кохання ніколи не буває забагато.
Love,
Чим більше, тим
there's never too much love. In fact, the more the better.
І ось так от я його також сюди
А з нашого ракурсу воно, знаєш, таке схоже на губи, профіль.
From this perspective, it looks like lips.
Можна навіть декілька сердечок вписати в малювання.
It could also be several hearts if you want. Then the next step you could do is you can take this painting and then see what could this be that symbolizes you. For instance, see this angel here? Here's his head, wings, another wing, that's the body, and it is connected to the universe energy. This is the Christmas tree that we drew last winter with all the decorations.
У нас тут є просто в чаті багато вже малюнків і
We have lots of drawings in the chat, and there are some small participants, children, who are drawing with us. And Olena has described already her drawing.
До речі, от один також з
By the way,
старих малюнків. Тут у мене так само янголочок. У мене взагалі тема, я дуже полюбляю янголочків.
this is one of my old drawings, and I often draw angels. Here's one, here's another one here. I always blend them into my drawings. So you could see this figure, the figure of your fixation.
О, бачу, Тетяна намалювала ще дуже.
As you can see, I can see Tatiana's drawing. I like it a lot. There are also unfinished corners, but other than that, it's very nice. Again, I see a figure of fixation, but I will not tell you because you have to find it yourself.
Олена Кочура, так, дивлюся.
Olena Kochura's drawing I'm looking at, and you took the further step, you even added some color to your drawing. Excellent. Your angel has some injury, perhaps. I cut my pinky this morning by accident too. Well, very good. Well done, Victoria. The heart could be colored in or coded in any format. And you can change the angle at which you're looking at your drawing, and it will give you a different perspective. Yes, lovely. I see. Very, very nice heart, Evgenia. Your heart looks like it has wings too. Yes, you can add something to the drawing. I might be late a little bit with your comments.
Олена, дуже жаль, що не змогли. Бачу, да, читаю.
Olena, I'm reading your message.
Клас, дякую, що поділилися.
Yes, thank you for sharing.
Дивіться, фігура фіксації,
Look, the figure of fixation is not mandatory. When I draw, sometimes I overlook figures of fixation too. If so, don't force yourself. If you're done, then you can start adding colors.
Але я не бачу чомусь, тільки що я побачила, це що було особисте.
I just saw something personal.
Ось воно. Бачу.
Oh, here it is. Now I see it.
Так. Олена Середнюк, дивіться.
Olena Serednyuk, look, you have many
Якщо хочете, можу вам зараз увімкнути на спільний перегляд.
unfinished corners. Let me show you what I mean. No, that's not the one.
Зараз ось це нам потрібно, да? Так. Зараз.
Let me give me a second. Look here, for instance.
А чомусь він мені не дає указку взяти.
For some reason, I can't use the pointer. I don't understand why. See, this area, unfinished. lots of sharp angles still left, sharp corners. This, for instance, this circle is not joined.
І от це, бачите, ви точечки зробили. Те, що говорили, що краще не робити, краще через дуги робити.
And this is what I said. You are not supposed to do that. You can do it through arches. You did two, and over here you have a sharp angle. Over here you have sharp angles. Over here you have to round them. You need to complete the drawing. You already proceeded to filling the shapes. Maybe you lack patience, that's all right, but you need to make sure you complete it. Over here you need to complete it. You didn't make a proper connection. This arch should be completed and should be neat. Over here you can also round this and this over here and over here. So you get the idea. Like over here you have a dot, but over here and over here you have angles. So you used to have 4 angles. Now you have 8. So this is why you need to create an arch to get rid of angles. I really like the colors. Yes, the colors are magnificent. I really like it going beyond the circle. It like creates this halo. And I call this stage angle hunting, when you need to find all of the angles to round them. Now we're just so exciting. We're just looking for every corner. I have really lots of lines. I have 7 and lots of arches. So I will need to find all of the angles. I'll probably sit here until evening. But it's fun when you try to not miss an angle. I just need to do some angle hunting because the colors are fine.
Супер, ну взагалі класно, мені
Great.
подобається. Кирил також вже дуже
I really like it.
готовий. Кирил вже готовий до
Kirill
того, щоб розмальовувати
is ready
руками.
to
Бачу, що майже всі 90%
fill
вже
the shapes with colors. I can see that 90% of the corners are rounded.
Кавалі. Я бачу дуже такий
Cavalli.
це сірим, я так розумію, просто олівцем було намальовано. Воно дуже таке не яскраве, да? Такий дуже
Yeah, it
прозорий колір.
looks like
я б сказала, да.
translucent.
Його видно?
And I can't really see that well, but I can see you rounding the corner. So yeah, I have to make sure that you round all the corners.
Дуже гарно бачу у Тетяни вийшло. І
I can see Tatiana did it really well. I like this shape of the heart.
Просто, я не знаю, якась реально все.
And Daria, she really created a whole universe.
Фарбами, да?
I think you used
Гарна підбірка кольорів, мені подобається. Реально, як
used
все
paints.
планети. Прям супер, дуже красиво вийшло. У
Looks like
Анастасії
planets, and Anastasia did a great job.
зробили просто ідеально. Ідеальні оці кола. Прям,
These
ну,
rounded
коло квадрат.
angles are
Супер,
perfect,
дуже круто.
and the circles are great. Now let's use some colors. The way we work with it, we just normally use not more than 5 colors. You can use only color blue and just use different shades of blue. And then you create gradients when one shade gradually turns into another. I can use this as an example. Actually, there are 5 colors. There's purple, same color. But over here, it's just light. Same color, but it's light. didn't press too much on my pencil. So this is why we like to use pencil, because even a single pencil can allow you to produce different shades, like the darker or brighter shade of the same color. So like this color blue is the same color, same pencil. What about 3 different shades? Light, medium, and dark. Take a look at this green shape. Like there's light green and dark green, and there are 2 different shades of blue over here. You can see this. This one is light blue and dark blue. So overall, I have 5 different colors. So you can use 6 different colors to create gradients.
Далі що ми робимо? Коли ми беремо ці кольори, ми
What you do next? When you use colors, you need to find a support for them. What it means is that if I have a circle, an orange circle, it's another colors, it's not enough. You need to support this orange. You need to create another circle in orange to support this color, not just a single shape with a single color. You need to give it a bit of support. Gradients work very well when we have one color slowly turning, gradually turning into another. Besides, you can do draft coloring. Like this one is yellow, this one is yellow, so you just mark it yellow. That means you will paint it later. Then you see some sort of a wave. I get back to this drawing. So the first thing I drew is I became this anchoring shape, and I wanted to make it bright green. And see this line going across the drawing, and then I didn't fill the whole circle in blue because this was like a foreground going across the whole image from left to right. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And then I filled all the shapes, and then I just used 2 colors like purple and blue. I just filled different sections instead of whole shapes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 different shapes I produced. So you have to have the whole picture in mind. Does it make any sense? Over here, you can see another color with lots of different colors. A painting or a drawing with different colors. Lots of different things, different colors of the rainbow. So we need to ensure it's balanced. But when there's lots of things all over the place and you want to use different colors, you're free to do whatever you want. Just my advice. You are free to use whatever technique you're comfortable with. We can't hear you. This is your drawing, so you're free to draw whatever you like. That's your creative process. It's all about you. We're all different. So you draw whatever you like. This is why you just had color. And color represents your life energy. And think about it. If you like color green, you want to add color green, think about what it represents. Why did you want to illustrate your dreams with this color. So try to get more information through reflection, using different associations related to colors.
Я, Луїза, так само, як і ти, як завжди, буду закінчувати це вже після. Я також не встигаю це зробити.
And I will also, I don't have enough time to complete the picture, so I will do it later as well. But every picture is unique. We're all different and we are producing different images. And besides, we do it with a different speed. And as mediators, we need to keep that in mind when we work with different parties. Some people, some groups, they do it more slowly. And your job as a mediator is to find the right balance. But it's all about reflection. Reflection is a very important skill of a mediator, actually. Self-reflection, not just reflection. That's the right time to do a bit of analysis of yourself. I can see there is a question, Daria Drach.
Це було після того, як я це пояснила, чи ще раз пояснити?
The question is about connecting circles. Was that before I explained it? I wrote it before explaining because I don't have enough time. Wow, that's really a nice picture. Who did that? The colors are magnificent. Daria says, can you please explain that again? You have magnificent colors. Iryna, that's a nice heart. It's really nice. You have to work on your intersections and circles. And you also need to connect the heart.
Так, ну, наприклад, ось у нас коло.
For example, here's a circle. Can you see it?
Ми просто беремо так само дугу.
You just make an arch and you fill it. From one side, you just round the corners. From one side and the other side.
Так само сердечко ми під'єднуємо через дугу. Раз, два.
And you connect it on both sides. And all of these angles need to be rounded. So you need to get rid of all of the angles. If you have these sharp angles, you need to integrate them into the picture using neurographic lines, and you just round it.
Всередині кулі також так. Да. Ірина Говорун. Всередині кулі ми також
Iryna
питання.
asks,
Скажіть, будь ласка, а всередині кулі також перетин скруглювати. Да.
do we need to round the intersections within the circle?
Пізніше підключаюся, дякую. Клас, я там бачу багато сердечок і ще бачу...
Yeah, I can see lots of hearts, and I can see a dove. Just looks like a dove with wings and with, yellow and blue colors. Olga, that's a nice picture. I really like it. Tai, great. Yeah, planets and even Jupiter.
Так, да. Ну, супер. Да, все під'єднано, гарно, вже можна додавати.
Everything is connected. Now you can use colors. Or you can see this anchoring shape, anchoring figure we talked about.
Гарно під'єднали, коло всі під'єднали. Ага, дивіться, Алечко, у вас наверху праве верхнє коло, воно зверху
the top right circle. It's connected on top, but not on the bottom.
Так, нібито не бачу більше у вас проблем, да? Все
There are no
рівно
other problems
гарно
here.
зробили.
You did it really well.
Що знизу
But you know what?
таке коло в колі зліва,
At the
а
bottom,
правіше від нього така
to the left
кола,
side, you
вона
have
дуже
this
подібна
circle, and then you have some irregular shape on the right, and there are some sharp angles. So you need to integrate it into the line. You need to merge it with the line. It will be more neat.
Так, все добре. Супер.
Great. Great. Terrific.
Далі. Міна, патіл. Ой, прямо мені нагадує ялинку з цими, знаєте, іграшками.
Looks
у
like a
вас, що вийшло.
Christmas
Я
tree.
вам пропоную зробити... Я розумію, що ви, мабуть, пізніше під'єдналися, да, тому не зрозуміли, що ми робимо.
Maybe you connect it a bit
Зробити поки
later,
оці дуги, щоб у вас не було взагалі жодних
Mina,
кутів.
and you need to make sure that you don't have sharp angles. Maybe it's hard to understand what we are doing. It looks like just circles and lines all over the place, but you can view the recording and you will realize what it's all about. But we need to round the intersections. Like this over here. What you do is you just round all of the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Але головне, щоб це була саме дуга.
But it should be a notch, not a straight line.
Скажімо так, випукла, да, ззовні, а дуга навпаки, всередину.
And it should be a bent line,
Так. Ось так. Всередину до кута.
like this.
Ось так. Бачите? Ось.
So smoothen these intersections. And then your drawing will be harmonized. You will get rid of these straights, these sharp angles.
Так, Тай, дуже дякую. Тай написала, що медіація – це не наука.
Ty wrote that mediation is not a science, it's a form of art.
Медіація арт так само, як і нейрографіка.
Мистецтво.
And it's an art, just like neurographics. It's a form of creative arts.
Так, Дарічка, ще раз я вам
Дар'я?
поясню, да, вже щодо під'єднання.
Does it make any sense what I said about connecting?
Да, Неля, все нормально.
Неля, yeah.
Робіть. Бачите,
Great,
ми також
great,
роботи
just
не зробимо.
go for it.
Окей. Тому,
I
дорогі,
have gaps over here, so you are free to complete it later. Iryna, looking at your picture right now.
так, ще є недороблені кути. Можу вам
Well, there are
показати.
some unrounded
Я
corners.
подивилися усі і зрозуміли, що
I can
я
show it
хочу.
to you
Бачите,
so
от
that
мені такий
everybody
план сьогодні політичний.
understands
Я вам
what
кажу,
I'm
робити. Давайте зараз покажу.
what I
Тому
want
що
from
перший
you.
раз це зрозуміло, це важко може бути.
Because maybe it's sometimes hard to understand, but I really
Окей.
need you to understand this.
А, все воно в мене вже
Because
є.
that's the
Дивіться,
point.
тут, бачите? Ой, ось
Over
тут,
here,
бачите,
you can
недороблені
see
два кути. Тут
you missed some of the angles.
тут я б ще такий більш зробила
You did
плотний,
these,
але
but I
ладно.
would even do
Далі,
it
ось тут, бачите,
even smoother, but it's all right. Over here, you missed this
ось
one.
тут взагалі
You
недороблено.
missed this one as well.
Не під'єднано оце
You didn't
коло,
connect
його під'єднано
the circles. You connected it over here, but not over here.
Так, ось тут так само, оце от у вас кути є.
This
І
one as
ось
well.
тут треба
You have
додати
some more corners over here. You need to complete it. You need to complete these and these. And this one is pretty sharp. So I would make it smoother, just like this one over here. You need to connect the circle to the line.
Ну, тут також воно дуже, воно таке як 90
This one as
градусів,
well.
я б також його під'єднала.
It's
Сердечко
like a
під'єднала, молодець. Тут ще
square
щось,
angle.
ось тут от,
This one over
всі
here,
предмети не мають бути
over here. So all
Я
intersections
тут сказала, ну,
should be
ну,
rounded,
так все не
should be
пише.
connected.
Мгм.
The rest
Так,
looks
я
nice.
також сподіваюся, що всім зрозуміло,
And I
як
hope now it
там
makes more
свої
sense
помилки, наприклад, побачити. Так, дякую,
how you
Світлана.
work on your own mistakes.
Так,
Thank you, Svetlana.
дякую, Вікторія.
Thanks, Victoria.
Дар'я, супер.
Daria, great job.
Прикольно, як у вас ці такі кружочки, вони нібито в квадратик
It's great. It's like these circles turn into a box. What I suggest is you can round this arch, but if you like this one, it's fine, perfectly fine.
Нібито все. Ага, дивіться, ось у вас зліва
Now,
є такий великий,
on the left,
великий коло.
you have this large circle
Середина, і там проходить лінія
at the bottom,
геометрична. Вам її так
and they have the neurographic line,
цей
which needs to be embedded into the circle.
справа, так само вам потрібно
And below that circle, there's another circle.
зрозуміло, про що я кажу. Так само нейрографувати. Так, дивіться, бачите, де моя? Ось тут
Here,
треба.
you have to add,
Далі, ось тут.
fill it in.
Прям 90 градусів.
And here, look at this. This angle is quite sharp.
Всі ці лінії ми
All of these
зробили,
lines have to be joined
тут зробили, тут зробили.
and embedded.
Бачите, у вас кут. Тобто зазвичай, коли ви
So,
знаходите один кут, це 4 буде.
when you have one angle, it means 4 curves. You have to add 4 curves.
Під'єднати треба оце коло.
Here, you need to join this
Це коло треба
circle
під'єднати.
and this circle here.
Ну, колеги, тобто, я так розумію, що це
So,
зв'язок
colleagues,
має бути з
I think everyone must have understood this already by now.
обговорення попередніх робіт. Тому просто допрацьовуйте.
So just add finishing touches.
Це такий перший досвід з вами.
Nella, your first experience is very good.
Так. Так. Дотик метелика. Вау, як це красиво. Дуже
A
гарно.
touch of butterfly.
Тетяна, дякую, що поділилися.
Very nice metaphor.
Якісь, метафори,
Okay, colleagues, if you have some metaphors
мабуть, в поєднанні з
and you feel like
також, будь ласка, пишіть.
combining that with mediation,
Ваші
this is valuable.
які також нас надихають,
So
доповнюють наші
please share,
метафор щодо медіації.
and this will add to our collection of metaphors. That's nice.
О, прикольно. Ще сусідка
Now,
називає.
this is nice.
Дуже гарні роботи.
Very nice work.
Олеся, спробуйте зараз ще раз. Ви ще головне, пам'ятайте, серед
Олеся, you do the drop from the center, and then you branch out, draw the circles, neurographic lines, and then curve them in. This is fairly straightforward. So just try again. You can make a small meditation out of this before you start learning. You close your eyes, you do some soul searching, you align with the universe, and then try creating.
Так, я просто почала говорити сіпло. Я тут два моменти хочу.
Just wanted to add 2 points.
Пані Олеся писала, що порвала, ну, зараз не готова. Я хочу зауважити, що
Olesa mentioned that she wasn't ready.
не заходить, от не йде. Ну, от сьогодні от не
Sometimes you don't feel like drawing. That is fine. We accept that. We thank that we heard this,
Покладіть ці чернетки і подивіться через деякий час, там, через
and put these drawings away for a couple of days, and then a couple of days later you take another look at them, and you may find that you perceive them in a completely different light. So it's a change of your point of view, and you will perceive your work differently. It's quite possible that you will want to finish this. Another point is, it's fine if you haven't finished. You can always finish later. but don't delay it for much too longer.
Якщо ви відкладете там на тиждень, наприклад,
Now, if you delay this for a week or even 2 weeks, then it will be harder to get back into the groove and feel, you know, what you felt when you started. So it's best to get back to it within a couple of days, have another go at it, and see if it works better. Thank you. I'd like to show you around 9 templates. Like this was one. I didn't like that, so I never proceeded with it. But I didn't throw these away. Here's another one. Second, third, fourth. And look at these. I was just drawing options for myself, and through all these, this is the very first one, I eventually arrived at what we're drawing with you. And it's fine. It's just like in mediation. You have certain decisions, you're drawing solutions, you're developing solutions, and then the parties will select the best option. So it's fine. And by the way, here's another one. Here, I have no angel, just wings. And here's a rose. Pink colors. I have 3 colors, purple, pink, and green. And it looks lovely. But all these works are very different. Here's another one, by the way, the one that I drew during the retreat. You see, you have a large heart in the middle. And this retreat was dedicated to unlocking the third eye. It was dedicated to chakras. And so we drew this to open the channel of intuition, vision, understanding, etc.
Просять ще раз показати попередні варіанти робіт.
People asking you to show your previous templates. As you can see, how much preparation went into this event in order to show you what would convey the key message. Here's one option. You can see different colors. We have only 4 colors. No, actually 5. Blue, lilac, yellow, and 2 shades of green. So 5 colors. Now, when you take these background lines, make sure they are in harmony with the colors you selected. Here, for instance, the background lines are of different color. Here, they're not there. Here, a small heart in the middle. You see? Can you see the pink? So I don't like this one. Here's another work, for instance. Here I used pink, red, orange, and yellow. This is New Year. I already showed you this, the Christmas tree, etc. And this is the last one.
Вже вдячності. Давайте, може, розкажи про лінії поля, да, і чим ми там завершуємо.
Так. Я щось не можу.
We see already people are thanking
Так, а що вже час у нас, так?
people. Are we out of time? Yes.
Добре. Так, тоді давайте так, я чомусь не бачу. А, ось, це ще такий є малюнок, да, у нас.
Here's
Дивіться,
another
щодо
drawing.
ліній поля. Коли ви вже
Well,
розібрали
regarding the field lines, once you've colored in,
фігуру фіксації, воно буде
you may see the figure of fixation,
а коли ви кольори з'явилися, тоді ви
but when colors have emerged, you can then see the figure of fixation better.
лінії виділяєте. От, тут у мене, бачите,
Then you
так, вони максимально таким жирним.
outline it. These are fairly thick,
Але ви можете
they are outlined,
наприклад, фрагментів
but some fragments
фігурою фіксації.
you can turn into your figure of fixation.
Лінії поля це
Then we add the field lines.
співпадає з
We use a marker,
малюнку, і ви цей маркер
and
через нейрографічні ці біологічні лінії
through neurographic bionic lines, you draw 2 to 3 lines from one end of the sheet to another. That means you will be embedding yourself in the energy of the universe. In other words, you will connect yourself to the universe. Of course, we are all interconnected, and in fact, we are one huge neural network scattered around the globe. You may have felt that sometimes you think of a person, and then the next moment this person telephones you. Well, you might wonder why. Well, it's not a coincidence. It's because, as I said earlier, we are all part of one single neural network. Quantum entanglement, for instance, of two elements means two elements, no matter how far they are apart, like 1,000 miles apart, if something happens to one, the same thing will happen to the other. So these field lines allow us to put us connect us to the system of universe. As far as the number of these lines, there could be 2 or 3 of them, and then you join them. Each crossing, you have to join properly to your painting, to your drawing. Like if this is your main one, so, but then, because the field lines we draw with a marker, when we do the curves with marker, they're very bright. They stand out. So what I do, I don't use marker for the field lines. I used a pencil instead, because otherwise they will stand out too much. So all the curves should be done by a pencil. Now, regarding this whole work, basically you look at your drawing, you enjoy it. You can, in fact, have it printed on a mug or a T-shirt. It could be a background screen on your monitor or the laptop. Now, if tomorrow you wake up and you feel something lacking in your drawing, you can always add something. If you have an inspiration, add to it. But as Iryna mentioned earlier, it's best not to delay for too long, because otherwise it's unfinished business. Are there any questions? I see an apple and wings. Very nice indeed. I see some still lives. I see Olga raise her hand. Let's go on.
Ольга, давайте. А можна вимкнути Ольги
Go
звук?
on, Olga, speak up.
Можна я, поки Ольга не почала, я вибачаюся, чия це робота?
But,
Секундочку, Оксаночка.
Oksana
Дивіться,
Горшкова,
вам потрібно ці всі дуги прямо
what you need to
зашивати
do,
чорним, щоб воно
you
не
need to
було
color in
видно,
all the curves
малюйте краще.
so it's
Тому
not
що
white
воно
inside.
виглядає, для мене, да, в мене
Because for me, it looks
4 роки
sort of wrong.
да, і для мене
З часів пандемії.
I've been doing this for 5 years, and what lacks is coloring in inside.
ви не замалювали.
I hope you understand what you mean. You did the curve, but you didn't color in.
Бачите, як у мене. Прям
Like this.
такі елементи, як
These
нейрони
black
головного мозку.
elements, they represent the neurons of the brain.
Так, я це відповідала.
Станіславе, а можете увімкнути звук Ользі?
Stanislav, could you turn Olga's microphone on?
З'єднано. Ой, прям такий мішка якийсь. Альона, прям я бачу таку, знаєте, як
I can see a teddy bear
перевернути такий мішка з двома вушками. Прям
with
клас.
2 ears.
Він
It's great.
мішку тримає дитиночку, да? Ще 2 вушка бачить. Ні, не потрібно, да, Ірочка, дякую.
No, not needed.
Ольга
Which Olga?
Прабаторова. В чаті не
Olga Prabatorova in chat.
Клас. Олечка чорна, як мені подобається ця ваша голубка.
Olga, I see your dove. It's very nice.
Клас. І прям ці такі планети там дуже гарно.
And the nice planets there. I like that.
Дякую, що написали, що
Thank you for writing.
в кінці тижня, тяжкого робочого тижня.
It's a great rest after hard work over the week. We always give this opportunity on Saturdays for people to come and draw. It is to wind down. Thank you. I couldn't turn the microphone on. Thank you very much for a wonderful workshop. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure to see the drawings, and Iryna told us many interesting things. My question is as follows. If I draw in the future, should I draw how I feel like it, or draw the lines in the opposite directions like you advised? If you could explain that.
Чи правильно зрозуміла запитання, як вести нейрографічні
So your question is how to draw neurographic lines. Like I feel like it,
Давайте так.
right or left.
Поганий настрій.
Look, if you're in low spirits and you need to calm down
Створювати нові нейронні зв'язки, і вам це потрібно як ресурсування.
and you need
Ви
this
можете вести, як воно вас
for your
виходить.
soul,
Зазвичай база.
then indeed just follow your heart.
Нейрографіки – це вести лінію не туди, коли
But
куди тобі хочеться.
in your graphics, the idea is to lead the line not where you feel like or how you feel like, but where you don't want to lead it, because it should lead you outside your patterns of behavior, your standard, well-familiar life, in order to tap into something unknown, something unusual, and something new. However, if there's something that you can't crack or you feel stuck, for example, you have problems with, a relationship with your child, for instance, a teenager, then it could serve you as a conduit towards a better understanding of how this relationship could work out. So you simply choose what you feel like. It depends really on your state, Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I understand now. Thank you.
Тай пише, що вже 3 година ночі, але повністю, як це,
Ty
прокинута,
writes that it's 1 a.m.
спить і в дуже в креативному такому
And
Слава Україні. У мене також, до речі,
glory to Ukraine. Thank you.
я
Actually,
також
it's
повністю
1 a.m.
як це,
too.
прокинута, да,
So, but I'm awake.
Awakened, так як це буде? Прокинута, ні? Awakened це як?
Like,
Так.
what's the right word?
Бадьора, можна так сказати.
Yeah, I'm
Я хочу тут
awakened,
скористатися нагодою,
not sleeping, but I just want to take a time and say thank you to all of our foreign colleagues who joined us. Well, of course, there are recordings, but still, you choose to be here with us online, and sometimes it's 1 or 3 or 5 in the morning. It's middle of the night, and we really appreciate you joining us. We really wanted to make sure that it's convenient for everyone, but even if it's not, you're still here, and of course we will provide the recordings. Yeah, I really appreciate you finding the opportunity and joining us and working with us together on your identity. When we provide a support to ourselves, we really can support others. And also, even if you're not a psychologist, you can support your family members. Because it really helps you to look forward into the next day and the future, and it really gives you a lot of support and understanding. And only when we get together, when we're not separated, we can do something good for ourselves, for our family, for our clients, and it's really, really important. We can do great things together. And tomorrow we'll be ready to take another challenge. So thank you very much for your efforts. Together we're creating a whole field of support, because it really gives you a better opportunity to move forward with greater understanding. Anna, I really, really like your colors. They're so soft, like drawn with crayons, and it just reminds me of Jeff Bezos' wedding. And they had these colors, and his wife, his bride, had this dress with an eye, and it feels like it's watching you. Guys, if you want more of these workshops, subscribe to Ukrainian Academy of Mediators. We have a Telegram channel, but it's in Ukrainian. But we have a WhatsApp group. We're actually everywhere, in Facebook and Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp. We have our own channels where we post different useful things.
Нещасливі. Коли просто потім хтось каже: "О, я не знав, у вас був
And when
такий
people
класний
say
захід, а я не знав, я не бачив."
that I didn't know you had this great event, it just makes me a bit upset. This is why we post announcements and news and updates, and we just avoid sending emails. This is why what we provide publicly, we post on our channels. And you can just subscribe to our channels. We have trainings, we have supporting events and great webinars and other things. There are lots of things on our website, the Ukrainian Mediators website, and we're always trying to make it easy to navigate.
Це так виглядає, тому хочу зараз просто
But maybe it's just us. So I will just show it to you how it works. This is our resource. This is the Ukrainian Mediation Academy's website. There's an English version and there's a Ukrainian version, so we can switch between languages. You have the subscribe buttons for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Our address is very simple, mediation.ua. And when you follow the link, you have everything you need on the homepage. Some current events you can click on. There's a forum section. All previous forums, for example, the 8th forum 2024, if you click here, you will see both the agenda and all the materials and files, just like this year. We organize everything on a Padlet webpage. You have recordings of all sessions on ethical components of the profession and evolution, and all motivational sessions and masterclasses. There was a masterclass on creating a PowerPoint presentations, and there's a layout, like a template of a presentation. It's in Ukrainian, but you can use it. It's all based on different regulations and legislation. It's nothing new you can argue about. It's a great session on how you can create a presentation, like with some best amount of words on each slide. We also have recordings from the 7th forum. We talked about the Singapore Convention. It's easy to find. At least we think it's easy to find. Another interesting section is useful materials. You can find the same in the English version of the website. You have all links to English language versions of the recordings and presentations, or including the one on neurographics. Another link to useful materials called Useful for You. We even tried to structure it because there are lots of them, but it's all free, it's all accessible. You're free to use it. Communicational materials on mediation. If you click here, you will see some topics like how to communicate on mediation. The presentation is here. There are some books, some commentaries on the law, free to use. It's published by the authors behind the law. Some practices on the Hague conference. There are some newsletters, a series of newsletters. Mediation is. It describes key aspects of mediation. And there are different areas like initiatives for young people. We try to collect everything in one place. Initiatives for mediators. So all here, there are some recordings of nice masterclasses, webinars, and there's a webinar for mediators on AI. Very practical seminar or workshop. Different materials. You can share it as well with others. The only issue is people sometimes they just miss it. This is why we try to consolidate everything on one page. And also, We had it in the chat, but I'll just demonstrate it for you. Mediation help platform that we created during the first month of full-scale invasion, when a huge number of Ukrainians found themselves outside of Ukraine. And we had many issues that we had to solve. They had conflicts and misunderstandings because it was quite unexpected and stressful. So they needed some mediation, problem solving, creating connections, and they needed help with these conflicts. This is why we created a mediation help platform. It's a platform where you can learn more about mediation in different countries, because mediators had to travel to other countries too, and sometimes people just didn't know if there is any mediation in the country they're in. Is it a part of the law? Is it a part of the procedure? This is why we created this informational platform. And we published information about mediation in certain countries. This is why I am addressing our foreign colleagues. If you represent some sort of association of mediators, that's a resource for you, because it's a result of cooperation among different associations of mediators. You can see we have different pages for different countries, like we have for Romania, Georgia, Italy, Croatia, Moldova, Serbia, Ireland, Greece. Of course, it's not the full list of countries, but if you click here, you'll be able to find information about mediation in a certain country, what are the requirements, and also contact point for Ukrainian mediators. And we looked for additional possibilities, like the Association of Mediators of Georgia was ready to provide their own facilities for Ukrainian mediators. Now it's not, this section is not here anymore, because it's not here anymore, and we'd like to ask our foreign colleagues. I would need to switch to English. Well, you can read more about this platform. And besides, there is a partners of the platform section. You can fill in a form, and we will contact you, and we can add some information about your country, if it's not yet here. There's a list of countries that we have. There are some countries pending for information, and as far as the Ukrainian mediators go, if you have a mediator certificate and you comply with the law of Ukraine on mediation, on number of training hours, we have a register of mediators. It's an inter-organizational register of mediators. We can add any mediator who formally complies with the law and regulations. We have a filter, like a search filter. We wanted to make sure Ukrainians abroad could find mediators in Bulgaria or Ireland, somebody who can speak Ukrainian and who can help them with a conflict. The mediators who work offline and online, or on-site mediators, they have a useful map. If you click Ireland, actually, you have to click Ukraine to find out where these mediators work. Like in Ukraine, we have 172 mediators. If you click on a certain city, you'll see them, like the city of Zhytomyr and Kiev, in Ostrog, in Odessa. You can search them by specialization, language, and payment type, because some people use Bulgarian, some Italian for their mediation, for their services. So this platform is free of charge. You can appear in the list even if you are not a member of any organization, because it's not a requirement in Ukraine. And besides, this platform is actively used by authorities for referrals. You can see some links on different materials you can see at the platform. Different documents refer to these materials. Different booklets distributed at state censor registration agencies. So if you have this possibility, and you do have it, please use it to make sure clients can find you. That was just a short advertisement about the possibilities. Actually, I didn't know about some of the possibilities. It's really useful. Thank you for sharing. And I can see the pictures are really nice. This heart is really beautiful. Anastasia. Tai wrote. Tai? I'm sorry. Are you a man or you a woman? Because I'm not sure, it's not obvious from the name. Actually, in 9 o'clock East European time in the morning, every Saturday, they're doing a round table and they're discussing mediation. It's free of charge. Thank you for sharing. And copy the email and join us. Okay, Tai is a male. Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. It's easy in English. You don't have to specify the gender. In Ukrainian language, you have to indicate that. I can see some questions on certificates. For everyone who's listening to the streaming, everyone will receive certificates. Everyone who joined the forum, either in Zoom or in YouTube, because you filled in the registration form. And we did that to get your information, to provide you with certificates. But you need to be a bit patient, because we need to print it, and there's a lot of certificates, so it takes time. And besides, we need to collect them together, and we'll just send a single email to make sure we don't spam everyone with lots of emails, and we don't flood everyone with emails, so we'll just send it in one email. All the certificates, all the links. So you need to enter your name and surname you need to see on the certificate. But please bear in mind that it's going to be sent in 2 weeks, because we need time. And of course, the printing process itself is it takes time as well. We're not sure how many certificates we need to print, but it's probably more than 1,000, because we have more than 1,000 participants. And we also changed the link So you'll have all of the certificates and materials. Just wait for 2 weeks. If you don't get anything in 2 weeks, please contact us and let us know. But please be patient, because we always answer your emails, and when we have hundreds of emails coming in, just so distracting. So thank you for understanding.
Ми єдине, що щодо завершення робіт, обов'язково варто її підписати і поставити дату. Це також
Make sure you sign your drawing and the date. It's symbolic. Your drawing needs to have a name, the date, and your signature. Then you own it.
Оця самоідентифікація опора в цей момент, як ви її зобразили. І можете подивитися потім динаміку.
You can then later refer to it, and once you've drawn several of these, it's best to have them dated so you know which one was drawn when. I have a question. There was a question. How do you draw self-identification? Ask yourself this question. Were you able to draw self-identification? And can you see yourself with all your dreams, strong points, dark points, dark sides? So please, this is a very important point. And how are you feeling right now? How are you exiting this forum? Are you regretting having spent the past 3 hours drawing? What are your feelings? Please tell us in the chat so we can understand whether we should do the same thing in the future. Next forum, for instance, should we do the same? Or something similar, perhaps, a new practice. While you're writing, where should we write to? If you don't receive, or if you don't hear from us within 2 weeks, write to us info@mediation.ua. info@mediation.ua. But I hope everything will be fine, and you will hear from us within 2 weeks' time. Just remember to check your spam folder.
Я бачу, що ви в цьому, в Флориді. Тож у вас зараз,
Yes, I see you are based in Florida. Wow, this is late. But despite these complications, you still have enough enthusiasm to draw. This is excellent.
Сесійні зали для різних людей по різних темах. Ми це мали в перший день 25-го.
Regarding the session rooms, we did have that on our first day. And we had several rooms such as restorative justice, family mediation, etc. And people simply chose the room and went there. But we will think of how we can do this next time. And today is the Constitution Day in Ukraine, and we have the Dove of Peace and colors. It's an important day for all Ukrainians. It's the day of our main constitution, which guarantees many rights for Ukrainians. It's the foundation of our legal system.
і певною мірою наповнюємося ресурсом, рефлексуємо, і ми бачили,
And
як багато
we
було таких жовтих
reflect on this,
кольорів саме у ваших малюнках.
and we see lots of beautiful colors in your drawings.
Малюнки саме кожного, хто ось це відчув
And
саме
it's
той момент.
important for every Ukrainian.
А ще я б ще додала, що ще додам або нагадаю, що у нас буде
I'd like to remind you
про
that
те, що було проведено цей воркшоп. І, будь ласка, всі, хто готовий, кому
everyone who is ready,
поділитися саме в Фейсбуці, в Інстаграмі,
please check Facebook and on Instagram, post your drawings. This will popularize this idea, and more people will get introduced to this.
Дуже вас просимо прям коментувати цей пост своїми.
But when you post, please add your photos and comments, and this way your friends, your loved ones can see everything, and perhaps next time they will join us too.
Відмічати Українську академію медіації, будь ласка, да, можете ділитися.
And you can also mention Ukrainian Academy, and we will be happy to show up in your running line, because it's a great honor for us to spend this time with you and to inspire you and to introduce you to something new. And then carry on this, disseminate this in the world. And
Це як hurt people, да, злі люди, які травмовані.
Hurt people. So the more mellow we are,
Для того, щоб ці травми якось все ж таки, ну, трошечки призупиняти, да, і
at least we can slow the process down.
злагоду. Тому давайте разом будемо допомагати один одному це робити і розповсюджувати взагалі цю культуру мирного врегулювання спору, да,
So
медіації.
let's disseminate the culture of peace settlement, mediation, and feel better. So I thank you all for your participation, and have a good day.
Я не знаю, що додати. Я приєднуюсь до всього того, що ти сказала.
Yes, I echo your thoughts. I'm glad that we have a large number of people joined us in the beginning, and they are still with us, even though we went over time. And it is a pleasure to realize that we've been useful. We saw that the audience has been quite active. We received lots of questions. People wanted to clarify things. We felt that people were taking this quite seriously. They really wanted to get the hang of this technique and be able to do this on their own in the future. Not everyone is as dedicated as you have been today, this morning and this afternoon. We saw the diversity of so many works, and each, of course, is unique and reflects your personality. I never finished my drawing, but I will later on by adding finishing touches to it. And it's been pleasure, because it creates atmosphere, it inspires us, and many people come and join our sessions.
Дуже круто, що всі на одній хвилі.
And this sort of puts this pastime, this activity puts everyone on the same wavelength, so to speak. And this is great. So thank you all for being with us today. I am very proud and sending out our love to you. Okay, thank you, Ira. We spent a lot of time together, but we managed. We pulled this off. Tai says in previous lives, he was creative art and artist. I am by the way, I do past life regressions. So I even do groups with regressive hypnosis. And it would be interesting to talk to you. So I think I will copy your email address and write to you, because I get some interesting vibes and messages from you and ideas. So please expect an email from me. Again, I thank everyone for kind words. Just follow Ukrainian Academy of Mediation. I have many friends who ask me, when they find out that I do neurographic session, oh, you did that and you never invited me. I wrote to around 50 friends, but I can't do this for everyone. So Ukrainian Academy of Mediation does this on a regular basis. Just stay in touch, and you will this way be informed about all the upcoming events and activities, because we work with many international experts and conduct many interesting activities. We will be glad to share news and information with you. Well, in that case, we can now officially close this forum. In conclusion, I'd like to thank all participants, both as speakers and as audience. Many people from our side were involved in organizing this. We have a strong team of technicians and logisticians, and we had many volunteers helping us. Your support mattered greatly. I would also like to thank our interpreters. We have 2 Alexanders working with us today. Previous 3 days, we had Oleg. The fact that he is not today with us, I will ask Alexanders to pass this on to us. We have also Alexander doing technical support. Even despite challenges, we rose to the occasion, and I think forum was organized at a high logistical and organizational level. Thank you. We will definitely continue. I would like to apologize for speaking too fast. I was trying to do some pauses, so I apologized if I was too fast. Well, we have very highly qualified interpreters, and they rose to the occasion despite the high tempo. So, thank you all. We will see each other again for sure. We will leave the platform available to all of us. I'm still in Southampton University. I can attend similar events in many countries of the world, and I understand they're not accessible to all mediators. That's why the idea behind this forum is to open the world of mediation to all of us, to all those who care.
Нас насправді, ви бачите, в нас кожного року є якась тема форуму.
Every year we take a topic. On the 23rd, in 2023, we used the symbol of sunflowers. Last year, there was music. This year, we researched unlimited space, the universes. There are many planets that have not been researched yet or studied. So we can now start thinking about the theme of the next forum next year. If you have any ideas, we will welcome your ideas. Next year, we will have a 10th forum. It was a 10th anniversary, and hopefully we will be able to meet in Odessa on the Black Sea coast. And we will still leave online version. It will be a hybrid format. So I'll see you on the 10th International Mediation and Law Forum. Thank you.